When that horn blows, you know what that mean. Here come a king. Bow down, don't step in the ring. The end is near. Hear the fat lady sing. You hear them loud thumps. That's the crowd stumps. Wild and reckless, boy, they call us the wild ones. Never had no guidance.
All right, take two coming through. It's PAL 2020, the Summer Asia RMR event brought to you by EGL. And honestly, it only feels like a couple hours ago we just finished off with day number 9, but it's going to be day 10 coming at you. And if you missed out on yesterday's action, once again, we have a video to recap what went down and get you ready for today's matches.
It was a good flash, caught the tease. 79's still alive. How is this guy not dealt with yet? Another flash through. Now things are looking good. He's got to pull off a 4K this round in a 1v3.
Rushing through, and the 789 just welcoming all of these kills.
John Olsen's got to clutch it, and he's already got 2. Knows the last player was over towards the van, and John, he's done it.
3-on-1 Viva left alone. He's got the ult. He hits the first shot. Oh, don't. What is happening here? Where was this Viva earlier?
Up close, Leaf might get himself a kill. He does indeed, getting a little bit more done up close. And this is spiraling out of control with John Olsen on another double kill, and even finishing it off with a third.
Zoking stepping up and getting a double 4K. That's huge from Zoking. Just came out of nowhere. Jamyoung, one shot, second shot, falls on back, Molotov tossed in, smoke deployed as well. Huge round coming out from Jamyoung. Jamyoung from the pit, he's been such a hero, and he's gonna find another kill as well. 3K, he's been such a beast in the pit position. Jamyoung gets the triple kill, the 4K. Okay, that's out of nowhere. 4 big kills collected for Jamyoung. He's in behind him. The MP9's going to find the bomb and nearly a follow-up kill, but Alan trades out to the AK. He's not done yet. He decided to go for overtime and do a little bit of extra work. He's sticking around. He's got 4 kills picked up.
Somebody looking to be rushed down, but he hits the first 2 shots, gets dinked, gets a 3rd kill, and a 4th. He's on just 10 HP. Dan King's gonna open things up, gets the first 2 more play. Oh my god, Dan King! The king of B!
Those beautiful shots he's pulled off the angle. The timing is terrible. But he takes the shot to Nuez. The fight's successful. The nade didn't go near him, luckily, so he's good to find another. And an ace for Dan King.
Is going to be picking up everything by himself. 3 kills, and Tyloo will live to fight another round. Well, again, that scoreline 2-0 is very, very misleading in that match. Tyloo was throwing things away at Mirage, and we almost went to a third map where potentially Bren could have gotten the victory and taken themselves off the bottom of the table. But they're still looking to fight today here to have a chance. Bren, not Mazlai, my bad. But we're going to be hopping into day 10, and it's going to be Mitch, it's going to be Blen, it's going to be Dinko once again joining me. And Dinko, I do have to say, Mitch is looking much more handsome than you today. That scruffy look on his hair, I am loving it. And Blen, I'm loving seeing you again. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Slept well. Again, got some nice little bit of shut eye there. How are you doing, Jason?
I'm surviving. I'm surviving. Nice 17 hours of working yesterday. I love Mitch's smile after I said that too. It's like, aw. It's not very often I get compliments. You know what, Mitch? You need more of them today. I'll be nice. Or we have another day of matches. And yesterday, it did almost break some of us. Maybe it did break 1 or 2 of us in that. But Tyloo, let's talk about that. That was such a weird showing out of them, Mitch.
Do we have to? Do we really have to?
We do. I'm bringing it back up.
Yeah, here we go. So yeah, 16-11 and 19-16, a series that we said Tyloo should have won 2-0, and I guess technically they did. If only we could leave it there. But man, they nearly lost that to Mazlai on both turns. And Mirage especially, that was a disaster, man. Some of the decision making that was coming through, I don't know if they were just completely switched off on autopilot, but I'm gonna hope they were, because if that's them on full force, then there's gonna be a new king in Asia soon.
Yeah, and you can see as well, Lucid Dream and Invictus. That almost went in favor of Lucid Dream. Vici, Divine Vendetta really duking it out towards the end. Looking at 16-13, 16-14, and 19-16. They really want to pull through with that victory, and they almost did, really showing what they can do as a team. But then now taking a look at how the standings have progressed, we do have some teams finally locking through already into the playoffs. Tyloo, Vici, Beyond, and Invictus all safe coming into the playoff stage, but that now means Divine Vendetta, Tiger, D13, Mazlai, Lucid Dream, and Bren all fighting for survival. Some of them fighting a lot harder than the rest. Divine Vendetta seems pretty safe with a 3-3 if they just pick up one more victory. But Bren, Lucid Dream, Mazlai, all with only 1 win. What's going to happen here, Bleh? This could be like frustrating for these teams, realizing, yeah, for like Bren, if they just picked up 1 more game. Same for Lucid Dream, same for Mazlai, all coming close to beating some of these top teams.
Yeah, I think right now what's more interesting is the battle not to get eliminated, right? And yeah, you see Lucid Dream down there, you see Mazlai expected, but Bren, depending on how the first game of the day, transpires, we're gonna know whether Bren are gonna survive or maybe not. It's still featuring on a knife's edge there. Coming to the teams who have qualified, yeah, they're qualified, but remember the playoffs are single elimination. You don't want to face Tyloo in the first game or the second game. You don't want to face Vici. So I believe like these teams are still going to be fighting for placement points, because if you lose, you're out. There's no second chance. It's not double elimination, right? So I feel like there's still going to be these teams fighting to win their games. It's not going to be just giving up and be like, yeah, we've qualified. Don't have to take it seriously.
Well, I mean, I hope they're going to be not just laying back and relaxing, because obviously seeding still can be a big factor. And just as you can see, 10 teams in the group and only 2 will be knocked out of this one. Dinko, by the way, you're actually handsome, bitch. What's your thoughts coming into this though for the standings overall? I mean, have we seen the full power of the top 4 teams already, or have they just been really relaxed?
I don't think we've seen the peak for any of the teams really. I think Tyloo are a team that we clearly haven't seen what they're capable of. I think Vici, coming into the event, I've seen their first couple of matches. I knew they looked scrappy in their first one, but throughout the rest, they looked okay. And then yesterday, that completely changed my mind against Divine Vendetta. So I don't think any of the teams are looking clean and clinical right now. I think the best looking team who's played their own game is actually Beyond. But then again, they haven't really had any real tests yet. So that's going to happen today. We'll get to see what Beyond can get done. But I think the teams at the top, they've kind of just floated along a little bit. I think they've been dropping maps when they shouldn't have. They're not really on their A game, but they are still in the halfway through week 2, or at the end of week 2, should I say. And this is where we need to see the teams ramp it up when those placement points come in play.
Well, you said Beyond hasn't been tested. Let's take a look at today's game so you can see the matchup he is going to be talking about. That will be game number 2 up against Tyloo, the battle of the top of the table. We'll be starting things off with D13 up against Bren and ending things off with Tiger against Vici. Mitch, wait, Bleh, which is your game to watch? I think I've already asked you this before, Mitch.
It has to be Tyloo Beyond, right? I wanted to say Vici and Tiger, but I feel like both Beyond are playing at a very high level right now. But you got to remember, the teams have beaten so far is to get to face off against the Vicis and the Tyloos if they can break that barrier. If they can finally break this barrier of not being able to beat the likes of Vici or Tyloo, that could be it. That could be a mental blockade getting broken and Beyond finally joining these top 3 Chinese teams and being a threat in the region altogether. So yeah, game number 2 for me, hands down.
Okay, well, I think there's a little bit of bias there since you were casting that one, so you're hoping it's the best match of the day. But let's take a look, though, at our first match in more depth. D13, a team that we have seen some really high highs out of, and unfortunately, not really, I don't actually know, not even unfortunately, there hasn't really been too many low lows. You got Annihilation, you got Score, you got Rate all mixed in there. And this team has shown us some great things. Now, the one thing that's been lacking with the team seems to be that strong leader for them, the one with the experience to show them how to play like mid-game and later on. It seems like once they dedicate themselves to a strategy, that's what they're going to commit to until they've either won the round or lost the round, Mitch.
I think it's fairly fair to say. For D13, look, they've had some pretty good games. You said, like, Lucid Dream, Mazalai already shut down. That pretty much confirms that they won't be in playoffs so long as they can beat Bren. Or that they will be in playoffs. That they won't be. That's not what they're aiming for. They took a map off Beyond as well. This is definitely a team that we can look at to do a lot of damage in a series like this. You've got Annihilation on the AWP. Rate and Score have been insane riflers as well. I don't think this is going to be too much of a challenge for them.
Oh, okay. I mean, obviously seeing them versus Divine Vendetta, I think we all kind of pitted D13 to win, but it didn't work out in their favor. But then looking out at their opponents, Bren, team at the bottom of the table, a must-needed victory for them, considering if they lose this, they'll be even further into the hole and 1 foot deeper into the grave. That sounds really grim. But then we should start to talk about them. Papa Chulo, he's one that kind of stands out within the roster for me, Blah, and he kind of has to be because he seems to be their saving grace at times.
Yeah, I think he has to just maintain his level. I'd like to see Wits be a little bit more effective, I guess the word is what I'm going to use here. We know when he pops off, he can really kind of like steal everything away from anyone in the server. He can really be dominant. But I feel like Wits has underperformed a little bit. He's had a few moments here and there, but as a primary operative team and looking at the way they try to work around him, as we've seen in some of these maps, he needs to really step on up. The thing for Bren, though, here's one thing I'll give them. But yeah, they're 1-2, 3-1-4 right now, but they've had faced the likes of Tyloo. They've faced off Beyond. They've faced off against Vici, and they even beat Tiger. So going forward, it's only going to get easy. Yeah, they haven't played Invictus, but we know how Invictus are looking very shaky at the moment. It's going to be easy games for Bren right now, so they should be feeling pretty confident. They've already had to face off the best in the group, all the best teams apart from Invictus. It's only going to get easier from here.
Yeah, that's a good point, because considering like the way Mazalai started and the way Bren started, Mazalai facing the easy teams and now facing up against the hardest teams in their last matches, Bren going with the hardest matches first and the easiest matches after. I guess that kind of, then puts pressure on Lucid Dream then to be the team to rise up beyond Mazalai. As we move into the veto shortly here, Dinko, is there any kind of predictions of how you think this is going to go or what maps you expect to be coming out to play?
I think I'd like to see Train coming in for D13. I think that's a pretty good map for them. Bren are a weird one where I really haven't been inspired by too many of their maps, but Nuke, it could be in there. I feel like it's a map where both of these teams have shown willingness to play. But yeah, I think that should be interesting. I think a Mirage maybe, possibly, but we'll see what comes up. Because honestly, I think in this matchup, I'm going to have to favor D13. I think the issue I have for Bren is the fact that they just don't have a star player, really. I mean, Papa Chulo, we talked about him, but he's inconsistent as well. We've seen him not really do much in their first couple of games. So when you go up against a team like D13 where they have Annihilation and Score and then sometimes Rate, well, there's 3 individuals you don't have anybody to match up against. So yeah, that's the issue I have with Bren here on any map we go to, really.
Yeah, so let's actually take a look at the vetoes then. I'm really looking forward to Annihilation Wits matchup because, again, they're completely different operas in my eyes. And what you said Inferno, actually, you said Nuke, and you said, I believe, Inferno. Well, Train going to be the last? I can't remember. I'm not going to lie.
Was it Trade the Nuke? Could be in
Okay,
there.
I know it
Then I
was
said Mirage,
66% chance for me there, and I still messed it up somehow. But Inferno going to be our first map done by Bren. Train D13. I think that's pretty expected, to be fair. And then Nuke to end things out on. Looking over their stats though, Len, it's kind of one of their mid-tier maps for Bren. 40% win rate. However, they've looked decent on it throughout this tournament.
Yeah, they have. Still not too convinced. I feel like they should just play to their strengths. I feel like Mirage would have been pretty decent. I think it would have been a very viable pick for them. But then, yeah, I get what Bren want to do here. They don't want they don't want to give the window of opportunity for a team like for these guys to really wake up. Where the players from from D13, talking about Annihilation, Rate, and Score, you know how they can really pop on off. In a map like Mirage, it can spiral out of control, right? Dust 2, it can spiral out of control. So I guess I understand where they're going with Inferno, but I feel like mentally they're approaching this with a very safer mindset. It feels like they know, they're themselves aware that individually they're not as good as some of the players on the side of D13, so just going to rely on how they play CS. And here's the thing with Bren, I like some of the ideas they have. I like how they approach the game at times. It's just that sometimes the firepower doesn't show up, and sometimes they seem to forget their playbook, or the playbook just gets tossed out. So as long as they stick to their game plan, I still feel it's going to be an exciting matchup. I feel they can take D13 all the way to the edge.
You know, it's kind of crazy for me because I'm looking at like a comparison between Annihilation and Wits, and their statistics are actually pretty similar. I mean, they have like a slightly different rating. This is just within the last month, so I'm trying to get just this event, and I'm too lazy to set up the whole thing specifically for this event. But you have like a slight rating difference, like of a 0.2, about 0.2. Or there we go. Never mind. Thanks, guys. That pretty much makes so I can actually give context to what I'm saying. But I even though the stats are close, I feel like they almost shouldn't be. I don't know, right? I feel like we've seen Annihilation have like these really flashy kind of plays and these like really consistent shots. Wits, I feel like he struggled to really get going on the AWP, but then maybe it's just some bias in my mind.
Well, I mean, based on what we've seen, definitely Annihilation's being the far better opper. In terms of how flashy he is, definitely you'll remember him a lot more for it. But Wits, to me, he doesn't have any depth to it. When it goes to the T side, he's not someone I look to take crazy aggressive peaks. In 1vx's, I don't rely on him too much. I think he's one of the players that relies on opponents making mistakes, whereas Annihilation makes his own ground. He finds his own opportunities. I really think this is somewhere that Bren will lack in this series. Probably the glaringly obvious one is in opping duels. And because of that, I like that they've gone to Inferno. I think that's somewhere that it makes it a little bit harder for Annihilation and a little bit less pressure on Wits to show up in the opping department. So hopefully then, and I say hopefully, that will be Bren picking up one map. And then they'll have a chance. Although I do think Train would just be super one-sided. And it also depends on the Bren. I mean, remember, like, they showed up, they almost beat Beyond on this map. They did really, it was in 1917 they lost. They took them to OT. But just before that, 3 days before that game, they lost to Vici 16-5. They got absolutely dominated by them. So, and then they almost beat Mazalai as well. And that doesn't really weigh up to the Beyond game. So I really don't know what Bren we're seeing today. I think that the consistency definitely hasn't been there.
Oh, sorry. I was watching Haka, and I thought you wanted... Or Haka, wow, we didn't hear Dinko here. I thought you wanted to say something. So I'm just going to brush over that. Let's just talk about predictions. Dinko, my man, my favorite guy here, the most handsome man
Whose
ever.
name he forgets.
Whose name I forget.
So I'm going to have to predict D13 2-1. I think because we've got the two AWPers who have the most kills in the tournament and the highest AWP kills per round, I feel like it's going to be a 2-1. I think this should be a good battle.
Thank you very much, Haka. Bled, what's your thoughts?
I'm going to have to stick with my co-caster. I mean, Hawk has been great to me. So, yeah, it has to be 2-1 going the way of D13. I still see a world where Bren might win this, but D13.
Okay, well, gentlemen, thank you very much. We'll check in with you after the first map, and myself and Dean are going to be covering game number 1 here. Good. Throw everyone's names out there. I wouldn't mess up Blez, though, because I feel like if I did call him a different name, he would beat me up. Especially, yeah, that's the name I was going to go with, but I didn't say it, so Blez, don't hate me. Didn't happen. We're going to see, if that's not even close, D13 on the CT side, Bren on the T side. Ooh, sick transition. I love these. Mitch. Sorry.
You know what I love, Jason? It's that those two are probably muted on the stream. You can only hear them on TeamSpeak. So for at least 30 seconds there, everybody thought you were having some sort of schizophrenic episode.
Thought I
think
was?
That's great. Oh, I found out.
Do Tupla and Dinko exist? I thought they were all in my head.
They're blind Hawkeye, you mean? No, they're imaginary.
I don't even know why I called him Hawkeye either. Like, I guess I had Hawk on the mind, which is even more weird because I've worked with him like once, but I wasn't even
stopped
working with
thinking
him.
about him ever since that day. That smile,
been a wild
that damn
ride.
smile. Yeah, look, you can see Bren are looking in towards the A site, and man, they have found a pretty open site. It's a 4-man stack on B. Tamirarita, aka Tamer, all by himself. He's gonna have to hit some sick headshots, and unfortunately, doesn't hit a damn thing. Can't even get a bullet out of the chamber, and the plant is already coming in for Bren.
Big gamble coming through. They do have a smoke for Mr. Cap, and they have the kit. They have to deal with the T's already set up inside the site, 2 in pit. We got 1 towards graveyard, 2 in sight. I don't see them retaking this unless they hit some ridiculous shots. Even a P250 for Derek to really play long range here. Smoke comes in again to block them off. They need to block the site on pit, and you see it's going to come down with the smoke. Gonna be looking to just spam away through this one. Score. He's going to be wrapping around towards short. It's all onto him, I think, and he's not going to spot the guy graveyard. Jaw's going to have an easy shot, and Jaw's going to get the goosh right off the bat. And that's it. That's going to be Bren taking the first round.
Couple
Love that.
exits.
I'm running away, but I'm going to stop and headshot one of you before I leave. Oh, no. Okay.
Taking the armor off them, right? It's worthwhile, I guess. We go 1-0, and honestly, I think if Bren can convert this round, because D13 seem to be going for a force buy right away, they could be in a really nice spot. I do like that there's a bit of debate around what to do in the second round. At this point, you know, sometimes teams are going to go for the force buy. I think a little bit less frequently they'll take the eco. But it is more so if you're on the T side and you get the bomb plant, you take the eco. You buy it up fully then coming into round number 3. I don't know, even then, sometimes they do force, right? Because they'll take like 2 AKs and try to beat off against the SMGs. I think you're in an interesting set. D13 can do a lot of damage when they've got Deagles in play.
And do damage. I don't know if they hit their shots. This is a commitment rate. Hey, he got 1 in the end. But that should be like a 1 and done spot now. Annihilation. Tamir trying to hold on. Tamir falls immediately. Annihilation doesn't have a chance to shoot up a shot. At least a clean shot since smokes have come down. Bren looking good to get this bomb planted and to defend it. And well, D13, I mean, maybe they should look at saving some of these weapons. Retaking these difficult. Obviously, make it expensive the other side. If you can hit your shots by Annihilation. Miss out on the first. Gonna be rushed down. Pro cleans that up. And Score last alive against 3. Again, damage would be nice, but that still would be the round nonetheless here for Bren. So far, not bad stuff, but I'm still focused on the gun rounds here, though, Mitch. Like, I want to see how D13 play things out and if Bren can battle it out when it comes to that. Because we know Wits likes to op on the T side, which is something you don't see too often, I feel like, these days on Inferno.
Certainly when you do see it, the level of success can be quite limited. I mean, it's just so hard to find those openings in a map that we always talk about as being so close range. There's all those little crevices to hide in. And for that reason, we might see D13 pulling out something spicy like a Zeus. Haven't seen too many of them in this tournament. I think the first day or two on the bottom of ramp on train. We had one, that was about it. I always wondered, maybe I just don't understand. See on the CT models, the way they've got headphones, and I mean in games like Escape from Tarkov, headphones increase the sound that you hear. How does that work? Is it like mics on the headphones to amplify noise or something?
Well, doesn't it involve, like, the bone in your ear?
I don't know.
I could have sworn there's, like, earpieces that, like, work with the bone in your ear to, like, amplify or to push the sound into your head, or to obviously your eardrums and your brain from that, where it doesn't make any sound beyond that. Vibrate. I don't know. I've seen some weird things in my day.
Enough. A lot of ear bones. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty interesting. So then, technically, the CT should be able to hear better than the Ts. So a wider range to hear steps. Broken game. Valve, please fix.
Well, I mean, as I was talking before, the other day about like how cool it is in some VR games with the way they communicate in the game and like a different kind of depth it gives to you. You kind of have to come up with some like interesting ways to talk to each other without giving positions up. Obviously, you know, it doesn't work in a game like CS or it's not in used in a game like CS, but that kind of like extra realism, you know, I think is like super interesting when it comes to like VR games in general. It like makes things even more difficult. And at the same time, I mean, I guess I don't know why I'm going into straight up VR. There's even like some like cordless headsets, and I remember playing with one back at an event I was at where it was like, so imagine like laser tag, right?
Yeah.
But it was with these headsets on, and it was like in a fantasy world, and there was actually like real life boxes and everything. Like what you saw in game is kind of like what was around you. The structures were all lined up. I thought that was so sick. I think that can make for like a really cool like crossover between esports and the athleticism of a sport.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for sure. Like, I've seen some of the stuff at events where they're like full-sized rooms with VR headsets and like guns and stuff. It's pretty cool. I like the little pyramid. Oh, they're gonna rush him down as well. It's Wits with the AK up close. He should be running for the hills. If anything, the MAC-10 should be sticking around. Wits stayed. Papachulo ran away. Where's the communication there? He gets one, but now dropped, and this is already a great round for D13. They started out with just USPs, nothing invested. They've got an AK. The MAC-10 is probably not going to do anything, let's be real, with that armor. You don't stand a great chance, but still. Oh, you might even get that.
Yeah, you got a little afraid there. And I think you should just be saving this AK. Alright. They had 2 players low, John, Derek, sub 30 HP.
I mean, that's not really any excuse. I don't know what the hell he was doing.
I'm trying to find some silver lining here, Mitch.
Yeah, trying to be nice. But
trying to be positive today.
I don't know what the hell he was thinking. I think you really got to go for a save in that situation, but alright.
Well, we're seeing the op coming out of him. And he's going to be looking at, I guess, peak middle. Okay. Trying to change up the nades there. Yeah, he's going for the peek in towards mid. The flashbang again being thrown immediately. And look how fast they're taking banana control. I was maybe expecting D13 to get aggressive with the Molotovs, you know, the smokes that we typically see. There's the Molly to come through. It kind of separates Jaw. A second smoke being committed. And look at the nade damage coming through. Maybe it is going to work out for them. They're going to hold aggressively for the retake rate. So we are both picking up a kill apiece. And not a bad start here. The gun run is what I wanted to see. And so far, D13 have lived up to my expectations.
They're taking it nice and slowly now over on the Bren side. After losing those players, they need to be a little bit careful as they push on through. Still a 2-man stack on the B-bomb site. Obviously, this is a situation where you can be very comfortable to just spread back into that initial round 3-2, play quite passive. As you can see, Annihilation's just watching mid, but here they go, pushing on forward right into the 2-man stack on the B-bomb site. The spray, oh, that flashbang was so perfect, but I think it might have been a T-flash. Derek in with a second kill. Tamer through the smoke, he caught him just up on top of it. And now, still with those 2 players alive, they've got the bomb planted. And D13 have to retake B. They needed even just a 1 kill extra on that push.
Well, still scored Annihilation left. Mr. Cap as well. They both hold the same angle on the T side. Let's see, like Bro's just going to swivel around and watch towards CT. He gets the first shot. I don't think Noki expects the player to be inside a pool, and Mr. Cap will jump over. That's the first. He charges straight into the second, but Derek gets the kill. A quad kill for him, actually. He's up to 7. He rescues the op, and Bren up 4-0. Really have to wonder what was going on for D13 in that round. They get the first 2 frags, and they end up losing it out. 5-on-3? I'd be frustrated.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous. I mean, Derek's openings there. The fact that they're able to take the B side only losing 1 player is absolutely huge. And then he just kept on going. There was no stopping him once he got off to a start.
They just knifed their teammate.
They did. They left-click pro on the way out of spawn. You put it on hard difficulty. Why not? Up against the pistols. They might even regret that a little bit later on.
I don't get why that happens so much.
I think because a lot of people play Face It, and there's no team damage, so they just kind of swing their knife on the way out of spawn as a habit.
Yeah, it's like an OCD thing, I think. Like the clicking, because like for me, even though I have a full clip of ammo and I'm holding an angle, I will generally always hit my reload button just to like make sure.
Yeah.
For some reason. A little tick of mine, I guess.
But how often do you shoot like 5 bullets and reload right away? It's like you definitely don't need to.
You know, I need all of my bullets to get 1 kill. Okay, those 5 bullets that I already used, those are gonna be massive for my success. Quick A site take. Only lose out on Derek. Papachuli down to 6, but this is gonna be another clean round. And Bren getting it started early, and I guess we kind of have to wonder like what kind of Bren will be showing up, as we heard before. You know, this team played some really hard matches already off the bat, and I can kind of run you through them once again. They get a 2-1 over Tiger, a 0-2 against Tai Lu, a 0-2 against Vici, a 0-2 against Beyond, a 1-2 against Mazalai. So they played 4 of basically the top 4 teams, and they've got what, Invictus, Lucid Dream, Divine Vendetta, and here D13. It's going to be easier, their path in towards their victories, but they need to secure the wins, and we saw just yesterday, 5-0 doesn't matter, 8-1 doesn't matter. For some reason, the other team always bounces back. I'm curious how long will their streak go before D13 break it. That damn smile, Mitch, every time.
One of my favorite things actually about Tyloo is we must take a look at that when we get into the player picks next time. You know, where you see the whole team lined up. It's that from left to right, they get gradually less happy. Like Dan King's got a massive smile. You go all the way over to the right, and they look like they want to kill someone. It's fantastic.
You gotta have that mean mug face when you're matched up. You know, like in like MMA or you know UFC. It always happen when they're doing like even boxing, like that posing picture. They have to have that mean mug.
Yeah.
And that's what we need.
And Dan King's just jolly on the left side, like I want to play some Counter-Strike. Yeah.
Getting paid to live the dream.
Exactly. Well, can't complain, can you? Not when you're getting aces like that yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that was beautiful on Inferno. This might be beautiful again for Bren. They do have, looks like the commitment over towards A. I mean, still a lot of time left to go. They're watching their flank. No aggression out of D13 towards B. They're actually both peeking kind of at the same time. And Mr. Cat, well, he's got the smoke in hand, and he's probably going to need it. I'm assuming we're going to see a Molotov directly on top of him in pit. Score tucked away in sight, and Annihilation with the AWP over towards Library. Here we go. Molotov, smokes, flashes all being thrown in. Score completely blind, though, and Mr. Cap just gets rushed out. He doesn't even realize they pushed the smoke, and that's the first kill going Bren's way.
They've spotted Score out as well. They know he's there. The smoke goes down to try and get him out of there alive. The spams, the Molotovs. No. He is dead to rights. Hadn't got a single way out. And 3 versus 4. I mean, I don't know how Bren are turning up on this level so early on. I don't know what Papachulo was doing there, but still 3v3 on the retake. It's going to be difficult. The AWP not getting any opportunities. And then in comes Wits, looking for his own, down to Annihilation. Perfect stuff with Tamer left alive. He didn't stand much of a chance. And with that, 6-0. And evidently a pretty good map pick for Bren. They've already got as many T rounds as they need. If D13 starts showing up and bring it all the way to 9-6, Bren can still be, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, happy. But obviously, considering a 6-0 start, they do definitely want to bring it up closer to 8 or 9 themselves.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you go 6-0 and then you lose 9 rounds straight, I'd be definitely frustrated for them. I guarantee they pretty much would be as well. And considering they are up 6-0, again, money's not really that safe. Ooh, there we are again. Look at us. See, I like this. I like this little innovation. I would also like to see Droney McDroneface put me in there, but I don't think he has enough CPU power to handle the rendering of my nose. But this is don't laugh.
In 3D.
But this is, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be even more difficult for that. But it's gonna be, I'd still say, a tough battle for Bren, even though they are up 6-0. It's very misleading. We've had 8-1s. Like, we've had teams go on these massive tears, and then when it comes down to it, they ended up losing the map before. So let's see if they continue this route, as D13 is just struggling to get their first round on the board.
Yeah, this should be a round that they take as well, right? Which means, if we've learned anything, this will be the round that D13 find. Exactly. I mean, it is Inferno, right? It's pistols on Inferno. These are always dangerous. So many, as we said, Kravis's cracks to just hide in and look to find those kills. Pro, I don't know how he gets away with that one. Wright wasn't even partially blind. Gorgeous full spray in the deagle. I respect it. They know there's another player here now because the smoke went down, and they might even think they're running into a stack.
Yeah, throw the AKs away. The smartest play here. Don't let Mir pick one up, and, oh, not too bad. Gets a smoke down. Picks up the weapon. Don't tell me he's getting more than this. And as we said, it should be around for Bren. However, Tamir's making it very, very difficult. And Mr. Cap's actually pushed out a window. He's going to catch on the rotate in middle. They're not going to expect this. The first kill comes through, and the second. And Mitch, I swear, we should play the lottery sometimes because this is looking now bad here for Bren.
Annihilation's got a deagle. One shot to the body is all he needed, and that is it. 6-1. D13 pick the round, and I told you. What did I say? It should be around Bren win, therefore D13 take it, and the logic prevails. I've learned. See, it's the opposite side of the world, right? So the logic is the opposite way around. It makes sense. I figured it out at long last. I mean, everything about that round was very poorly handled, though, for Bren. They find themselves in a position where they know there's pistols, and yet one of them goes back up to top banana. Sticks around. He's like, oh yeah, I'll try to kill him. Why? Why do you need to do that? Chuck the weapons off the map, they'd already secured them, and leave. Then, moving in towards the A site, they just run with their knives out, not aware that, yes, you're against pistols. They're going to play wild. They're the kind of ones that are going to push up. You have to know that apartments, even balcony could have been open for that player to peek out of. And although the timing was quite unlikely to work out that well, you still have to be aware of it when you're versus pistols. Sprays through the smoke. Look at this. I mean, it's a 4-man stack towards the A side. There's not a whole lot they can do. When you're in a round like this and you want a full commit A, you got to go a little bit faster, because, or at least show banana presence. Because look at this. Rate's just posted banana. He's got all the info he could possibly need.
There's got to be big kills coming through. And it doesn't seem like it's going to be happening. Score. It's even the dink onto Derek down to 13 health. He goes for a peek into the op. He will fall. And Wix will not be able to clutch us out. And, well, it was 6-0. Now 6-2, and Bren have no money to buy. Like I said, these games can be very streaky just because they're up 6-0. It's misleading. It's not a stomp, even though it did kind of feel like it at some points. And now D13, they should have a third round. Gotta be extra careful. Looks like they might be up just against the Glocks only, but we're gonna see a timeout coming for Bren to discuss some things. Rough times indeed. Now they can be happy with 6, but with how that this map was going in this first half, you had to assume they were gonna get more.
Yeah, you did, really. And you do still. You know, considering 6-2, I want to see them at least 8. Well, considering the 6-0, I want to see them at least on 8. And especially considering the manner that they lost that first round in, up against pistols. That's a big mistake. I mean, they've thrown away a great chance at the half. We know this map is quite CT-sided, though, so I guess for Bren, they don't have to be terribly worried. You can imagine that we've seen before, you know, they've got an okay CT side, but never versus really strong teams. Like Beyond, they 11 for them, but I don't really know what was going on with Beyond that day. They didn't look anywhere near on point. They almost lost the series. And you can make the argument that in the group stages, some of these teams weren't fully focused or aren't even still. But in this matchup in particular, D13, this is a big deal to them in terms of seeds and just guaranteeing that they make it to playoffs. And for Bren, again, to make sure that they can even come in with the possibility of making playoffs, they need to beat, I think it's Lucid Dream that they've got coming up. They've got Lucid Dream, and even then they're not guaranteed it. So they need to win versus either a D13 Invictus or Divine Vendetta, and I think probably D13 is going to be the best case scenario for them, because Divine Vendetta have been on fire this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like what I've learned so far casting this is that you can't really predict results. Just because they have their quote-unquote easier matches doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to win it. This is going to be a big push up towards B. Annihilation will eventually get that first shot off and get the kill. And all the backups here. No bomb plant. Glocks. Pistol's not going to work out. Tamira gets a nice little 3-piece. And D13 get a 3-piece for their third round now on the board. But here we go. Bren back on the buy. No up coming through. And this is, I guess, awkwardly enough, one of our, first gun rounds where D13 have everything they possibly could want, even rate on an op. So they're going to the double op setup on defense.
It's not too uncommon, but to see them invest so much money definitely exemplifies just how stacked their economy is right now. Winning those last couple of rounds cleanly. And That was a nice shot. It's not too often you can win an opening duel versus Annihilation, and even less so when he's holding an angle and you've got an AK. The pro does well. He got legged.
Yeah. I mean, he gets lucky.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you should have the kill once the Opera misses the shot, but he at least fakes out enough to only get, shot in the knee. At least it wasn't an arrow. They do have still Mr. Cap and Pit. Got Score in sight. Even have Rate here to help out. They've rotated a player from B since they lost Annihilation. If they lose this round, like they lost 2 ops, they lost a chunk of money. They still have a decent amount to spend, so it's not like Bren's going to be breaking the bank anytime soon. Oh, counter flash coming through to stop the aggression around the side. Smoke's being thrown in, and they line up. Can't peek like that. And that might have shut down the hopes here for Bren to win the round. Utility's going to be almost completely gone. This pro wraps around with the bomb. Score's going to spot him out, gets the first, and Score looking to be the immovable object. Wits misses the shot, but Derek won't. And they will have the sight in the 2-on-1.
Tamer with a pretty rough retake. Derek's took down in the pit. He's about to be peeked on through. Wits holding it with the AWP. And he just swung right into a double peek. Not a lot he could have done. 7-3. Even with the collateral, it's not enough. As Bren take another round and put themselves on 7. This has been a fantastic T-half for them so far. Look at this. Oh, you hate to see it. This shot was nice as well. Score just knowing his angles as he jumps up on top, but it gave away his position without any support there. It was quite an easy frag to refrag. Weaker weapons in play.
Oh, Rate.
He was blind but he just stuck there. He just didn't retreat, even though he was full blind. Sort of respect it in a way, but taking a lot of damage. He's honestly looking to be alive.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. Oh, he doesn't die from that. Must have been a good flash from a teammate, but to hold that angle for even longer. So the bomb is going to be planted. It's going to be a 3-on-2. We talked about, 8 rounds. After going 6-0, we should see them be able to lock down 8 at least. They'd be disappointed if they didn't, and we can see that they're already going to be saving on the CT side. Tamir and Rate going to make sure to use these weapons in the next round. And that will be an 8th round. Bren really showing up to play, and again, maybe warming up into the tournament. I talked about this multiple times. You don't want to peek into a tournament early on. You need to make sure that you can honestly keep getting better and better as the tournament progresses. Maybe this is them showing they can.
Terrorists win.
Well, I want to see a little bit more from D13 when we move to Train. That's where I expect them to dominate. But so at this point, I'd be surprised if we don't see the 3 maps. But I think Bren are starting to inspire a little bit all of it to me. I know, look, Wits isn't having the greatest of times, and I guess you could say then coming over to Train, he'll struggle. But it's T-side hopping. I really don't. As I said, he doesn't strike me at the moment as a T-side hopper. Very reminiscent of the likes of E-Store from Movistar Riders when he began. And he was the kind of guy that he could go at T-side with 2 kills, but then he'd show up on the CT. He was a very passive operator, didn't have that depth to it, but it's something that he learned over time playing against these higher level teams. I always give him big props because I was a big critic of his when he started. Said there was a lot he needed to improve on, but he's improved on it. Now he deserves that respect. I think Wits is in the same kind of position. That there's been inconsistencies there, 100%. There have been problems, but the fact that, he at least has the basics down of CT side hopping, I think when we move over to, 6 months' time, can check in again, see how he's doing, and hopefully the work will be there to back up the skill that's already in place.
Oh, this is very fast. Both players on top of balcony. There's nowhere to expect 2 here, Mitch. There should be no way in hell.
Brings
no
a
flash.
lot of value to just hit the mass, right? Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? What is that?
That's a quick round. That's what it is.
What? Okay, running out to try and jump to short, I get. Knife out? Nah, don't get so much. And then the second player runs into the team flash. Like, the flash needed to come over first, then the first guy goes out, then the second. I don't know, that was wild.
Oh, now they're going to be saving. Well, I guess forcing. Never mind. Wrong word came out of my mouth. And Annihilation goes for the aggressive peek. And he's able to get away, more importantly. It's a confidence building in the D13 side, and why wouldn't after that last round? But will Tamir expect Papachulo already here? Oh, he only sees him. Some damage, but not the kill. Flashbang to go back into this, and again, the smoke's still there, so it's not like he can see anyone. And again, I think a little bit lucky on the T side. The flash comes through, Annihilation's forced back, Incendiary throw on the ground. Poppy's left to himself, and Score can't quite get the spray at all. Eric returns the kill. The rotation towards CT. That's going to be a Raid. That's a double op they're pushing against. At least they have the smoke, but Raid, it doesn't seem to care. He gets one through it. D13 will get a 5th.
I mean, they're showing back up, right? That's what we want to see, but at this point, it's very difficult for D13. When they swap over sides, they will need to be convincing. Their T side has to be on point. They can't rely on a double op setup to come through. I mean, maybe they can, but it's going to be a bit crazy. The good thing is, everybody's showing up on the D13 side at this point. They've got a fairly even scoreboard. That was a nice little flick transition. Made down, peak, score. I think at this point you fall back, right? You stuck around a little bit too long. He saw 2 or 3 pistols rushing towards him second mid. And I think swinging wide on that is definitely the right call. The wrong call. No, not the right call. Don't do that.
You said it. You've done it.
People are going to die
Gone
on
and done it,
because of me
Mitch.
now.
I'm gonna, queue up later on, and I'm just gonna hear people in chats or people in the game over voice saying, "Damn it, Mitch! I trusted you.
I peeked 4 pistols. You told me to." They've got an AK over on that T side. No armor though. So essentially, that's a deagle, or should be. It's that first shotgun kick's gonna make you pretty much useless. I see the player long. Fast rush afterwards. Oh, get out of there, right? As he got utility, he's gonna smoke. No molly, they can just push on through that. There's a gap in it as well. He's panicked. You can see it. I think the T should get that sense as well. But they didn't. They took their time. If they really realized how poorly that smoke was thrown, I think they'd get a read pretty quickly that he's alone.
In that case, in any matchmaking game I've ever played, people must think I'm always alone at sites.
4-man stack. Ah, smokes.
Well, the AK's not really done much of anything, unfortunately, and well, it does nothing. Only 1 player job for D13. It looks like we're on the verge of having an 8-7.5 still in favor of Bren, but at least 8 rounds T side. Like, that's not bad. We can't really complain or argue with that. It's just more about how they started off so brilliantly, 6-0. And it all their downward spiral all started because they lost against pistols.
Yeah, it's all about context, Jason, isn't it? Like, you go 6-0 up, you lose a round of pistols, then you get a couple scrappy rounds here or there. Yes, we said we want to see them on 8 or 9, and they've already done that, right? So it should be good, but it's the clear potential for a 9th or 10th that's already been thrown away in those last couple rounds that is kind of upsetting. That's the critique that we make. That flash, nobody follows up. I think D13 know what they're up against. Leave 1 player banana, rotate over, 4-man stack A. Way too telegraphed by Bren. As they again slow it down outside of the A bomb site, they're going to run into a full stack. They're not doing themselves any favors.
I mean, I want to say they looked pretty flawless. Being so aggressive, being so fast-paced. When they were winning rounds with the guns, but then we think about the push they made out of balcony. No flashes, really, and they got demolished. And no Score, he's still alive. Don't tell me he can get a 3rd kill here. Well, at least gets the damage done for 2. At least rate in the 1-on-3. Guess the pace was picked up. It's looking like the 9-6 is going to be happening. Unless Ray can pull out something magical. Only 8 kills. He has Wits and Papachulo low, but I want to say a little bit lucky with that smoke, though. It's not as deep as he would like to have seen it. Rough towards pit. He's got the kit. He's got a smoke. He's got a flash. Good section off this part of the map, and well, Wits is going to peek directly into a bullet. Now the 1-on-2. Smoke comes in towards sight. He's going to wrap it against the one against Poppy, but Jaw will peek. That still came down too close for comfort. He gets a triple kill. And that 9-6 scoreline will indeed be happening here for Bren.
Well, I have to say, Wits didn't really show up, right? He finished that half with 3 kills. And T-side opping, yes, it's difficult. It's not ideal, but you gotta be doing better than that.
Well, so one stat that kind of stood out when we saw the comparison between him and Annihilation, that Annihilation has a lot more headshots. So to me, that says Annihilation's better on the rifle than Wits is. And when you come into T-side, you know, if Wits is going to be op, and if they're going to want to get him that weapon, he might not have the same impact. It can be very, very, very hit or miss sometimes. Annihilation's not going to miss.
And so far, with the way Bren have gone, they have to be happy with 9 rounds, 100%. I'm curious to see how these ones go, though. It's an opening for the T-side. Look at that by Pro. They were watching it. How big are their brains? Man can't even make a play. Annihilation's P2 fitted Wits in the head, further cementing his role as the top opper on the server. Jazz only good for the single kill to bring over a 9-7 scoreline. D13 should be getting another as well. And with,
like I said, should.
Man, gotta be careful. And you can see that they're going in for Deagles. They're going in for CZ on Bapichulo. Wits with the 5-7. 2 kinds of players. Oh, we didn't need to see that. That's a little bit awkward. Fire in the glass. I think after you fire the first 3 bullets, it's more or less just keep spamming left click. Keep the crosshair somewhere near his head and see who RNG chooses.
Oh, it's Amir. It'll be hard. Got 2 angles to cover. Doesn't expect Pro to be there. Doesn't bait any rotation, so he just trades 1 for 1. But again, it's just a Mac 10 being gifted over. It's not really that big of a deal. I still would almost have liked to have seen him still with his team. I get very nervous when we see these pistols bought up. And Wits will get the 1 with the... Oh my, what? How does he get the 2nd?
Well, already a better second half for Wits. The retake now very much doable. As they look to move in towards the B site and take these fights, they do have to remember range disadvantage is definitely in play. Flash out. Oh no, that's a smoke, is it? Smoke for Banana. Here's the flash coming over in a second from Derek. Doubled. Here they come. Barreling forward. Player up on top. Oh, he's dealt with by Derek. Where's the kills? T-side. D13 taking way too long in the swing even. Gives him time to get over there. If he had a kit, that round would be theirs. What was that? That was a good 3-second fight with no kill for the AKs. That should never be happening.
I mean, the Mac 10 came back to haunt them. He got the last kill in the end. I mean, Witch should never have that 2nd kill. He just kind of re-peeks within the smoke. Why is no one spraying down onto him? That's a very costly round. I mean, yes, the round is won. But still, I wouldn't necessarily feel too good about it. Another Mac 10 coming through for Mr. Cap. They're up against the pistols another time. This is more of a save than an investment. Again, lucky is what I want to say. A little bit sloppy, D13. Then again, you know, if that works out, if he rushes straight through, gets the first kill, potentially a second, opens up CT, you know, we'd be saying what a great individual play.
Already done good damage to Mr. Cap in this round. This is where D13 need to be very careful of going for individual fights. What, like, again and again they make these mistakes. The deagle out, not good for a kill, but... Oh, we need to see this come to an end. That's twice in a row on long versus pistols. They've just rushed out with a single player. And either been one, well, and being 1 for 1 traded both times. I'll never expect 2 players to walk through the smoke. And they don't. That's a kill. No, the timing. Score happens to look at it just in time. And 9-9 we go. Okay, hopefully this is where D13 tighten up the ship. And start to actually play a much cleaner version of Counter-Strike. Play together, off of each other, don't peek individually. And one thing that annoyed me actually in one of the previous rounds, where the MAC-10 peeked long, I got shut down in the 1-for-1 trade, there was no flash over from a teammate. He just kind of went, I guess I'll peek it, and flung on out. And you've got utility in a round like that, in a round like this especially. You got to try to flush them out and avoid losing any players. Better to, waste 1k in utility than lose a MAC-10 armor and give them a kill.
Oh, Derek, he's up close. He gets the bomb. It leaps forward. He gets away from the team like he didn't want to be in the hands of D13. Papachula gets 2 as well. This round, very fast-paced, but gets completely shut down. Annihilation. He's left alone against 4. I like the pickup of pace, but there was no flash towards short. There was no flash. I'm assuming there was a flash out of apartments, but that was a really questionable round here for D13. And again, if it worked out, we would be saying, what a great rush coming out of them. They get shut down, and Bren get themselves finally their first round on the board here on the CT side. Yeah, look at that. No flash.
Like exactly what we highlighted as a problem in the previous round. 1 by 1, they're taking fights. There's no trades possible. Where's the utility usage? They're giving Bren so little respect. It's definitely not warranted. For D13, what's a good name? Oh, what? What? Sorry, didn't that hit him and blow up at his feet for 15 damage? What? This game is wild sometimes. I don't know. Let me just quote Valve real quick. We fixed the nades. No, he didn't. Absolutely not.
I kind of miss the days of 1.6 where it was just proximity to the nade, how close you were.
Yeah.
It didn't matter about like height differences or anything like that.
Yeah.
Then again, people abuse the hell out of that. Like Dust 2 on B site, that the wall
Yeah.
by car behind it, they would just nade into there to hit you in tunnel.
Oh, that's stupid, yeah.
Oh, alright, well, Wits, talk about his op, 6 kills, he's gonna need some more. And, well, unfortunately, he will be cleaned up, but still Score coming through, like the big 3 for D13. Score being one of them. Great, again, having a slow start, only 12 kills, but let's see if they can hold on to this. It's a 2-on-2. Papachillo, if he can win this duel, it'd be massive, and Score spots him out first. That should do it, except Derek, he gets Tamir. 2-on-1, I'm not sure why anyone's peeking, and the flash through! What? He gets the kill on the Score! And Derek's gonna win the round. How do you lose the 2-on-1?
Oh, what an absolute beast. Derek's just an animal. What the hell was that? Oh, around the fountain we go, I love it. That's another one for Bren. God, can you imagine the morale on that team right now? Derek winning that full blind through the smoke pre-fire, easy kill. Yeah, that's on him. Oh, it's not that close. I thought because of the line it actually hit him, but that's not 15 damage. Come on. You know, the thing that confuses me about nades is that I feel like there's a very easy system now. I'm not a programmer. Technically, I aced programming at uni, but I absolutely didn't. My lecturer just liked me. I'm guessing it's hard to program or they would have done it, but who knows. Line of sight plus proximity. That's all it has to be. If you can see half your body, it does half damage of whatever the proximity damage is. If you can't see any of your body, and if there's a wall between you, there's 0 damage. It seems like a pretty simple system.
Yeah, well, you go into potentially the spaghetti code that is CSGO. I remember League of Legends had massive spaghetti code. It's hard for them to change anything. Oh, I don't like this push. Some smoke set up. Bro trying to get in towards Grave. He already gets flashed up. And he's going to be dinked. But he's still alive. What just happened? Pro was completely out of position. He is dinked right off the bat, but he still gets the kills. And he survives with 18 HP. What's going on, Mitch?
I'm scratching my head on these ones, honestly. I mean, this is... First of all, props to Pro. He's hitting the shots, you know? They've got a good setup on the site. It's not that Brenner set up in a stupid way. Oh, jeez, it's just ridiculous. So you had support from Pit. Some of the players are worried about dealing with the Pit player. That was a massive performance from Pro, but what are Bren doing? Or what are Mazalai doing? Not Mazalai, D13. God, we're going to all the team names. I'm pulling the Jason in the start.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
You were talking about Bren yesterday. This is Mazlai. Yeah.
Just saying, that was today. The start of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was yesterday too. I don't remember. Yesterday was a long day. I was working for 17 hours.
But no, I don't know.
Calm down, Dave.
This is screw you. This is a very different D13 to what I'm used to seeing than what we've seen so far in this tournament. A real possibility for Bren to take this, and they're definitely looking like the cleaner team at the moment. There's no denying that, and I'm sitting here giving D13 the benefit of the doubt that, you know, they're gonna figure it out as rounds go on. Their executes will get better, but no, again, it's towards the A site that they look for. They're on their last legs in the economy. The boost up as they look for any peaks on short. Score moving up along the roof. He thinks he's playing Assassin's Creed right now.
Or Detroit Become Human. Oh. That's the only 2 games you ever talk about. That's going to be a quick kill coming through. Score's going to fall. And they have Jaw there. I mean, I will give Bren this. Because I like how they are kind of like peeking off of each other, right? And they're like taking fights with teammates. You know, if one player's holding towards short and he's being shot at, you see another teammate come out of another angle to help him out, especially when they know they're safe from other positions. Like, they're playing, I'd say, better together as a team than what we've seen in the past. And D13, I'm honestly quite surprised. I mean, I understand this is the choice of Bren. But Bren are just looking better, especially their CT side. I have to give them props. Well, giving up 3 rounds, they've taken 4 now. They're up to 13, and might be up to 14. They're up against the pistols. They're rushing straight through, and towards long. They're gonna get around, and they're actually gonna go back to the A site. They're gonna swing this, look for the plant, but Witz is gonna be waiting, and Witz is gonna get the first shot. Gets dinked up, has teammates here. He will eventually close out that kill and the bomb. And well, Tamir will get a kill, but he doesn't have the round. There's no chance. Bren now on 14.
As we move on into the next map, I think D13 are going to be very, very upset that it's managed to go this way. And we're never going to hear the end of it from Dinko that he got his prediction right. He sure does love when that happens. But that is if D13 take it 2-1. That's if they can find Train, which they should be able to do. I mean, I still have faith that when they swap to that map, they'll be pretty good on it. This is... I mean, you have to be realistic about Train. It's not a map... Inferno. Or it's not a map that you usually see D13 play. They play Beyond twice on it, beat them once, lost another. But Beyond on Inferno is not exactly a feat to overcome. They've looked pretty sloppy on this map in particular.
And then also, like, thinking of the future when we get to Train, I mean, I feel like Annihilation should have Witz's number in that every day of the week. At least just from, I mean, I feel so bad because we're being so harsh to Witz, but they're just going off results. Like, it's not even, you know, bias. It's just Witz has just not been hitting as many shots. He loses a lot of the up-close duels, as we saw there on the B site. Or sorry, the A site.
Oh, he got a 2K in the pistol round. He's on, what is it, 7 now?
Mm-hmm. I think maybe 8, maybe 9 now, because he got 2 last round.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and he's playing the A site, 10. Okay, and he's playing the A site where they're pushing most of the time. So that's not it's not the kind of performance you'd want. The AWP out, at least he's found a duel in this one, and D13 again fall behind. They've got a 3 versus 5 retake. Not even retake, just attack to make happen. They've got no progress, no map control. They haven't pushed a player off any angle. I guess they pushed the CTs back to pit, but that's not any form of disadvantage. Annihilation, known to be up close, is going to walk out. He's running out of ammo as well. At this point, he'll go back for the reload in a sec. Pappy might have pressured him. They know now that he's up above. Derek with the kill. This should be nice and easy. Last player's 10 health, and goodbye Score. Well, 15-9. No money over on the D13 side. Normally they would just take pistols, but it's the last round, so they've got to invest.
Pretty clean for Bren. We've been seeing a lot of teams struggle just to close out a map. I mean, there's some innovation, nice little boost up you saw there. And at the rate they're going, I think they should be able to close this out with relative ease. I mean, this seems to be like an entirely different Bren than what we saw, you know, a few days back. I even understand they did beat Tiger. Witz, so he's going to get away. The double nade comes through, it knocks out his teammate. Incendiary as well to stop them from rushing through. And they got the stock here with 3 players. Wits will fall with the rush down, but Pro gets one. They're not going to expect Jaw to be here. Jaw, that should be at least one kill. The final, as well, is going to be towards Annihilation, sitting inside of the smoke. How do they even get the bomb down? The bomb is actually pushed in towards CT. Annihilation, this is not the angle you want to be at. He wants to get a kill before he can go back towards site. Tamir gets down Jaw. He's burning up down to 23.
Oh, God. That's a lot of damage done with just a Molotov. That's a lot of damage. And, I mean, there's only a minute left. All right? The bomb has to cross back. Smoked off. Surely they don't expect Annihilation now. The spam through from Papi Chulo.
Oh,
Annihilation.
no.
He wants to... Oh, all right. Timer just shoots him through the smoke. Fair enough. That's that one shut down. And he's confused. Where's the second player? Only one guy was spamming the smoke. No one's peeked from coffins. Molly to the backside. That should be a kill. He's watching right side run out for Tamer. Did he hear a step there? He seems very sure that Annihilation's in CT all of a sudden. Oh, man. Tamer misses the shots. And on low HP, it's an easy spray down. Bomb still has to be planted. He thinks it's
Oh, no, he doesn't. So he didn't hear him step. Or maybe he
Or
did,
he
but he
did,
thought he rushed. Yeah. Oh, no. I mean, he still can win this. He's got a nade. Annihilation's low. He's going to realize it's now towards B, and Annihilation's just going to play up close towards Pool. This nade could come through. Close this out. Okay, it's actually going to go in towards site. Annihilation's got to hit this shot. I'm surprised Tamir didn't get it when Derek peeked in towards CT and wasn't looking. Might have cost them the map. It might have cost them much more in the grand scheme of things. And he still turns around though. He pulls the 180 and Derek gets the headshot. That's going to be it. 16-9 here in our first game of the day.
Jason, I gotta say, that was a much cleaner Bren than I expected. Even if I was thinking that they were going to win this game, I did not expect it in this manner. I mean, 16-9, very convincing overall. We've seen lots of positive signs for them. The question in my mind is still, is Wits going to be able to perform up against Annihilation on Train? But with Derek playing like an absolute animal, I mean, he went out some of the first rounds of the map all by himself. It was the 4K within those first couple of rounds. I don't know what D13 or what version of D13 we're seeing today. Score, he's doing his thing, I guess. Annihilation is up there, not quite in the way we normally see. Raid is asleep, and they need to wake up.
They need to. We need to wake up our other talent here working on this event. We got Blett and Dinko to come in to talk about that last match. I mean, D13 on paper should have been the better team, but Bren clearly showing they have a lot more to give here, Blett.
Yeah, again, comes down to the teams they've faced off in the past, right? Bren, yes, they have lost. Yeah, they have, of course, lost the number. Oh, there we go. I guess everyone could hear me, but except for you guys, doesn't really matter though. Yeah, I just wanted to mention how you got to, again, for Bren, they have a pretty bad win-loss ratio right now, but it's against the better teams, right? On the CD side, Inferno, it was a complete shutdown. Also helped out by the fact that, as you guys mentioned, too many individual deals being given by D13, not giving too much of respect to Bren. And Bren, just like everyone stepping up. Again, Wits being a little bit of a problem, but when Derek and Ja and everyone else is going to have such a great game, it was going to be very hard. So, I still feel like, Train is still going to be favoring D13, but this was a great showing from the Filipino guys. Very good showing. And also, Inferno, the map pick, we're wondering why they probably went for this. And it's because as a map, it's a little bit more close quarters. It's a little bit more harder for the trade game to be on point if you don't play your game right. And that's what D13 did. They give too many individual duels, a lack of utility usage, and of course some huge plays coming in from, especially from Derek in this game.
Yeah, Derek's super impressive. I called him in their X Factor the other day, and I mean, that was mainly because he was kind of the second player in the team, sometimes even the third. But in the last few games we've seen Bren play, he's been up there. So I want to see this continue. I want to see some consistency, and so far it's been pretty good from Derek. Big clutch towards the end. Was a little scared how that one was going to play out, but he manages to pull it off. And I feel like those are some of the important rounds. Derek was certainly getting a lot of multi kills. I think moving forward onto Train, the issue I have for D13, yes, we know they're good on the map, but they only really rely on their individual ability. And Rit right now hasn't really been up there like we usually see from him. Maybe just a little bit uncomfortable here in Inferno, not as much space to work with. But we've got to see a huge step up in terms of the individual ability here for D13. We know we've seen signs of them showing up, but it wasn't really a whole lot. I mean, Annihilation's going 17-18 negative along with Score, so I mean, we want to see those guys step up going into Train and really hit their shots, because that's all they have to rely on. I feel we see big rounds from Annihilation on that A bomb site with AWP. So yeah, we got to see just a huge individual showing from D13. I think that's all that's going to take them over the line against Bren here.
What was important to me as we're going to take a look at the MVP of that first map, and it kind of has to be none other than big man to clutch out the win for them. It's got to be Derek. But is how Bren was able to close out the map. Again, as I said, like during the game, I feel like we've seen so many teams struggle to just finish the match. We saw with Tiger kind of yesterday. I guess you can also talk about, or not Tiger, sorry, Tai Lu. I guess you can even say maybe Mazalai as they got to 14 rounds on Mirage. But they did it. They did it so cleanly. They only gave up 3 rounds on that CT side, and they were able to close out 7 for themselves. It's really well done. And like we've been saying, Train might be a little bit of a different beast. I feel like actually, I don't know. I feel like Train, I find it hard to see Bren winning this one, Mitch, just based off of the opping alone, especially the double op potential.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were saying, right? Yeah, the thing is, Annihilation is just so damn good with that AWP, and now he'll be given the space and the ground that he feels comfortable on to really pull that across the line. Wits was very slow to start. As we said, T-side opping definitely not where he feels comfortable. Did start to warm up towards the end of the CT side, and maybe that's a good sign for something we can see. But really, I think we're probably looking at a very CT-sided map for D13, and a fairly convincing attack as well. This is a map they've already shown us they're quite good on.
Yeah, and we're going to find out after a short break as well if they can take it on Train and take us to our third and final map here of the first series of the day. This is PAL 2020, brought to you by PGL, the Asia Summer Armor event. We'll see you guys in about 5 minutes' time here for map 2.
Train 地图往事。错综复杂的6道和内外场， 将 Train 这张地图分割成了大大小小众多区域，是战术大师们所热衷的地图之一。2015年的 Dream Hack， 大表哥 Kerrigan 围绕着 A 点，凭借冷静的操作，完成了一波令人叹为观止的1v5，天马行空的打法思路，证明 CSGO 是靠脑子才能玩的游戏。A 包点头顶的3楼视野开阔，风险与机遇并存。Glaive 曾在这里利用地形优势，凭借一把 AK 以1敌4扭转乾坤。
Coming up, Glaive with a quad kill, shutting down G2.
地点高低坡的地形给了双方充分的战术选择空间。2017年 PGL 克拉克斯梅省就先有 ZN 敌台前配合队友，顺闪1v4刷屏。
The flash is perfect. That's a triple spray. The quad. Oh, man, they can't do it.
后有 Waylander 高坡下使用手枪完成1v4，立刻还以颜色，精彩瞬间层出不穷。
Second as well. No. Oh my God, Waylander. 4 kills just like that with a single pistol.
战术向来为人津津乐道，本次亚洲的选手们又将上演怎样的龙争虎斗？让我们拭目以待。
As you can see, Train will be our next map here with an exciting conclusion potentially coming through between D13 and Bren. D13 just trying to get a 4th win on the board, which I think will guarantee them a position into the playoffs, whereas Bren is trying to fight to stay off the bottom. It's still Jason. He's still Mitch. Unfortunately, he's not Dean anymore. That would be a nice upgrade in terms of... I can't think of any way to get out of this. So, going to the next map here, Mitch. How you feeling about this?
Worse now that you've started talking, but I think D13 are probably going to take this. We're most likely looking at a convincing enough T side from them, but the CT is where I think they're really going to thrive. Already, we're going to imagine Wits is going to turn up on the CT, right? He's going to start off well, going to be able to do a little bit of damage, but it's when they swap to attack that I see a lot of problems for them. And look, at least we're going to get to give a little bit of a pep talk to the guys as they come on out. They're right down there below us. Hey guys.
You know, so I'm in Germany, but I'm American. I missed out on 4th of July. I missed out on hearing the fireworks, but at least I can hear the pop of all the bullets coming out. Maybe I can pretend they're fireworks.
There you go. And Dingo's microphone. We got a lot of different things to give that fireworks simulation. So look, I think it's no secret D13 are favorites in a series coming in, but Bren has shown us a lot. You know, they came in with confidence. That's something that I really respect when you're a team that's not the favorite coming into a matchup, and you just go, no, we're going to win this, man. Maslai yesterday were the massive example of that. I mean, they were given no respect to Tyler. They were just coming in and going for it from day one, from the first second of that of the maps all the way through, and it's what almost won them. Not even a map, but the series as well. So I think for Bren, if they can keep up the confidence, maybe they've got a shot. But just based on how we've seen D13 play Train and the AWPing duels, should be theirs. Plus, we don't really see Bren play this much, right? Yeah. Although, I mean, that said, they've only got one game on it. This versus Tyloo's 16-14 loss. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, but I'm also thinking, what kind of Tyloo was it? As we saw yesterday, we've seen a couple different versions of them. This was back, actually, 3 days ago. Funny enough, so I'm gonna actually look at the stats of that to see what did happen. Derek top fragging with 32 kills,
and he's
16
already
of them
showing
being headshots. Yeah, and Wits kind of in the middle of the table at 19. On the other side, though, Dan King. Yeah, this is where Dan King kind of fell off. We were wondering where the hell has he been on a map like Train, playing as an AWPer. He had the second least amount of frags at 18. So I don't know how to feel necessarily about the result, but then again, it's still Tyloo. It still almost pushed him into a victory for yourself, and we'll see how things will go here as we're about to kick off. There were some issues going on for one of the teams for comms. Looks like it has been sorted. We're going to drop straight back into, we're back into us and back into the game.
Now we're back into the game now, ready to go with the pistol round. TeamSpeak issues resolved. And for D13, they come in with a little bit of utility. You can see they're looking to make a bit of a control of upper straight away, and Pro wants to contest them and get this map off to a flying start for Bren with an opening duel to Annihilation and immediate fallback. D13 look for the B site, but now it's that little bit harder without a full team.
My thing is, CT side, you want to pick up as many rounds as possible. Same for T side. Being denied pistol off the bat would be a major detriment for him. And a big boost, especially to Bren here. Such a clean round. Score left on 1 HP. And no, he can't. There's no way. If he clutched that out, I would probably vote for Kanye West. And I don't want to vote for Kanye West for president of 2020. So, thank God.
Coming in, pushing your political agendas, Jason. God,
I mean,
damn.
Okay, I'm not gonna go into it, but
yeah.
You know, what has it turned into?
I know.
Is it gonna be a reality show, Netflix or something?
The winner gets to be president.
Who wants to be the next president?
Who wants to be a millionaire, but they just ask you questions about pop culture and you're in. Well, you know what, this map, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be the best map. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be great.
You were saying.
Hope you get the reference. The good shot there. Papi Chulo goes down. The Deagle's already doing a little bit of damage, and this isn't even a proper force buy, right? For D13, they've only picked up a couple upgraded pistol. Two. There was one on the floor. God damn it, Tamer! Why'd you have to pick that up and embarrass me? But for such a weak investment,
yourself.
That's true. I do every day. So long as they can find 2 to 3 kills. I know, honestly, coming into this round, they don't need to find any kills. They've invested practically nothing. They've already done more than I would expect of them. Anything from this point forward is a bonus, because they'll put Bren down to having to rebuy already on 2 players, because Papi will need a drop, and he'll have to get armor. He'll have a weaker weapon as well, and then D13 come in with the ability to full buy in the next and do some serious damage, and possibly pull it back 2 to 2. It's a really smart investment.
You see, Annihilation's just hoping someone's gonna. Oh no! Oh boy! That's 1 kill. Damage being done. Not able to get a second there, however. But Wits. Oh, it's a little bit lucky. The last bullet in the chamber takes down Mr. Cap. They will survive with 3, but that was extremely rough. But as you said, I mean, they have to buy up 2 players. They have all the money in the world to work with on the T side. They have clearly the better buy going into round 3. They almost had that round. It almost went completely the way of D13, especially if Annihilation maybe could have hit another shot, or maybe Wits doesn't hit that last bullet. I mean, I think this is kind of a sign of how crazy Train can be in this matchup between these 2 teams.
This is where it all comes down to, Jason. If D13 can find this buy round with the AKs in their hands, Bren will be forced to an eco immediately, and that good start they had by winning the pistol will be completely discredited. Papi Chulo in with a double. They stacked up, boosted above the smoke, and took a kill on top of Trains, but boy, oh boy, did they pay the price for it. Now, ooh, they were falling behind, but Tamer's just opened up B. The smoke down and connector, they don't know. Is this a B hit? Do they rotate? Do they stay A and hope for the late push? They don't know what to do. Even as they get to the B side at this point, Tamer could be anywhere. There's a kill by Papi. Why is he there? That's exactly what Raid is wondering this late on in the game. But now he's got a flank. He's on the way up behind them and towards the showers. They don't know where Tamer is, as we were saying. And now they've spotted him. The bomb about to be planted as well, so that's all the info to play with now on the CT side. They know where both players are. Sneaky position by Derek. He gets a kill. They don't even know where he is. Eventually realizing, but it might be too late. Tamer's so low and just spraying at the angle. He eventually walks into it. Bren do pick up that round. They get some free upgrades to AK-47s as well. And even with a bomb plant, that is a poor start for D13.
And 3-0. Papichulo coming up big with the 3K. They rescue themselves 2 AKs as well. Yeah, where is this Bren been? Actually, a 3K or AK going to come through. Where is this Bren been? Maybe it's because they've been playing like the really difficult teams. We haven't been able to see them play more of a team in the middle of the pack. Dear Lord, this is not filling me with confidence for D13. I feel like the Mongolian team they start off strong in the tournament. You see them in their first match up against Lucid Dream, but maybe there's just been that downward spiral for them. You know, maybe they peaked early on in the tournament. We talk about, you know, score annihilation rate, and unfortunately rate just didn't appear on map 1. It was Inferno, they lost pretty heavily, so I can kind of understand how it'd be down there on the kill board. But Train, like this is their go-to. This is their bread and butter. And they're gonna catch Pro completely off guard as they were straight down top.
Pop go the rifles as D13 come into the lead. And Wits falling right afterwards. I mean, Bren are definitely locked out of this one with the smokes in play. Up on top of the Train, Annihilation looks for another victim, but it was Score to finish him off. As the CT side lose out on their first round of D13. Pull ahead at last. But the thing is, Bren, they don't get the bonus, right, over on D13. We mentioned in the previous round if they won it, that would be nice and easy. Eco for Bren, and they'd equalize 2-2, but Bren have got money. Now, not on every player, so it is going to be just a couple of pistols at best, really. And like, you could drop P250s if you're Ja and get a nice investment. Are they fully going? Just a P... Okay, there we go. Late buying up. Yeah, a couple of pistols. Not as convincing as it could have been. They're obviously not very confident coming in with just pistols. That's understandable in a way, and it is Train, a very scope-centric map. You're looking for long-range duels consistently. So I get why they don't want to invest, and they'll save it up. What this does tell you, though, is that there's a real possibility for that double-up setup to actually come out very early on. Pro's got the money immediately, and Jack could potentially take a second.
Oh. Steam coming through. And actually, is Derek going to get aggressive towards Pop? I think it'd be massively unexpected. Look at this. They've all backed away. Rate heading towards Ivy. I think they're trying to set up for some execute towards the outer bomb site. Rate maybe just trying to cause a distraction, which will pull one player back. But I also don't like this at the same time, because if he dies, that gives an AK over to the other side. And when they have a couple of pistols invested, it very well could happen. Fortunately for Wits, it won't. Smokes come through. Mr. Cap takes down Pro. The bomb will be planted here momentarily towards the outer bomb site. Poppy, though, maybe he can play spoiler. Maybe it's a chance to give a kill or two, or maybe, as I say, just maybe, he can pull off that second kill. The D13, they bounce back, they get a second round. And Bren, I mean, you got Wits on 3,600, so why? Did he have a 5.7 or P250?
I'm not sure.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter if he's going to be gifted over an op and he's going to be last cannon.
The glass cannon I don't know about here. I would have much rather to FAMAS and my Opera to have the ability to take a shot without losing accuracy completely. He's also quite wide on that for a glass cannon play. She's getting so aggressive without any armor. Now, I know Ja had some utility to support him, but it doesn't help if he dies. And as we move on into the round, 120 left, you can see Wits has pulled all the way back, right? He's even rotating around to the A side to play in towards the connector. D13 holding outside of most of these angles, waiting for an opportunity of their own, hoping that Bren do get aggressive, but that's not the kind of Bren CT side that they deploy. Not coming into the buy rounds anyways. Eventually they're going to make a move, but they managed to secure Pop Dog. They're coming up Ivy as well. And here's the push out very early on by Score. He didn't have support from main. Luckily, it was just a peek on the flash to gather a little bit of information. What's Mr. Cap doing up above? Oh, he's picking up the bomb, okay.
Well, that's unfortunate. I mean, Derek was the man to watch towards Ivy, except he was in towards Hell and didn't have the angle covered. Pro's gonna respawn, though. And again, man advantage now for Bren. Derek. Okay, well, he loses his teammate, then he misses the spray, and Rate gets the kill. Bomb gets planted. Now it's equalized at 3 apiece. They have to hope that Pro or Wits can really connect the shots. Especially Witz, who hasn't been spot out, and there we go. Speaking of connecting, he gets the first. Player's going to be towards Pop, and Rate's going to be coming back in towards T-Connector. Bren are taking their time. No kick currently on them either, so they have to pick up the pace. 18 seconds left. 13 seconds left.
They've got to get on it. They've got to stick on that now for the next couple seconds. Tamer's able to get one. He falls, and there we go. They don't have time, though. As we said, they had to stick on top of it, and it's gone.
I'm not sure why they didn't get on it quicker. Basically lost that round before they even were defusing. Yeah, I mean, they got on it exactly the 10-second mark. And I'm not trying to put blame on anyone, but, you know, Derek isn't covering Papachulo there. Then again, there's a smoke down, but he's not even covering the smoke. He's assuming that the player won't push through it. And then he gets into the one-on-one against him when the enemy's not even looking at him. That should have been a round for Bren, 100%. That's just unfortunate that Derek had that little moment happen. He was so good on Inferno, so I guess he's allowed to have a mistake here or there, but that did cost him the round. Potentially 2 now.
Oh no. Witz on the shoulder peak. He was so aggressive up close. He's just been completely caught off guard. And those are most of the weapons gone already. I mean, Jazz the only one, and he's taking a fight up above. Manages to find an AK for it. And no one else can get up there to retrieve that rifle with him, right? They're completely split off from upper B, and D13 are pumping the brakes. They're slowly moving in through the CT spawn. Looks like B is going to be where they hit eventually. If Raid's going to clear that out. Maybe not, actually. There's still a lot of the players moving in towards T main. Raid's it behind them as well. Gonna catch a player off up on top of the train. Easy little one tap. He's being spotted. Unlucky pro. Timing didn't quite work in his favor. Good damage done to Tamer nonetheless. Perhaps an opportunity for Ja to drop a couple of these rifles and make it a costly round for D13, but I think saving that AK is probably going to take priority.
Yeah, I mean, their money. Like, Witz on 1900. Are we going to need a drop in this? I mean, you have Tamir low, you have Score low. That was... Well, it was really nothing invested, right? It was just the weapon save from the prior round. Oh, he's not going to save this. Score's just ready for it. Even a Zeus for him. Covering that off of a dead body, and that's going to be a 4th round in the lead here for D13. Okay, so it says 1400. Derek able to buy up the M4. Is Witz going to go glass cannon again? I'm curious. Yeah, he will. Interesting. Oh, he didn't go glass cannon. Did he get? So he got dropped the op. Okay.
Yeah,
to say.
This
okay.
What? Okay. Score's gone through the smoke. Well, there should have been a wall bang as well, I think, but must have just caught the pixel that was open. And that's now a disappointing start for D13. I was going to even highlight the fact that Witz needed to show up this round. If he doesn't, then D13 already pulled way ahead. And you can mention Derek doing well in that game versus Tyloo, but Danking wasn't playing. Once that AWP shows up on the other side, Derek's not going to be the one that can bridge the gap, really. It has to be your offer that steps it up to bring those fights and just make sure that Annihilation doesn't have the room he needs. Good smoke. Thrown from main, just outside it, all the way down to Ivy. That's going to allow Ray to creep up without worrying about a fight immediately. He's going to make his way to the right side after that. Flash goes through. Papachulo being flanked out.
There's no way he's going to expect this either.
His time is... Oh, he's managed... Oh, what is that? How does he manage to take him down? The spin around after the first kill, and Bren takes the round. That was absolutely filthy. I jumped in my seat. Like, he gets the first kill, I thought, oh, okay, that was pretty good. He's going to die, but at least he's gotten a frag for it. He just spins. And look at this.
I mean, that makes up for Derek earlier on, right? As he's playing towards Hella, it cost him a round. That probably won the round for him. Oh, Chilo up to 8 kills. They credit to Witz to hit that first shot, albeit, you know, it's not seeing a single play there. Neither could he, as he just shoots completely through the smoke. John's going to be overwhelmed. Push comes through at a score. He still hits the shot. The B side's open. There's no one else to defend. They picked up the pace. D13 are going to have control. And a long rotate coming out of Derek. Bro?
And the trades there lead to a very small consolation with Score continuing to frag down towards Brown Train. It's all on to Derek. That flank couldn't even get halfway through before being the last player alive and spotted right afterwards. A disappointing round for Bren. I mean, they lose to just a straight B ramp rush by one player. No utility, nothing. Just a heads-up aim duel and the site's lost. And if you're the B player, you can't allow that. You can't allow that to happen.
I mean, that was a big kill by Score, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
If he doesn't get that first kill, then they don't take the site. That Molotov would have blocked off any reinforcements.
The molly itself, though, is a little bit late.
Yeah.
I think when you're solo B like that, if you're going to play up on the ramp spotting, you have to have the molly out. If you're ready to just drop it, like, look at that. It's only starting to bloom as Score gets down. He escaped there with, what, 40 HP? After the fight as well, that's not even damage done by the Molotov.
Trying to go for the spam annihilation. We haven't gotten to see him use the op just yet. On train. And we saw some brilliance out of him before. It's just going to be spotting it out here. He's looking to back away, then get the smoke down to watch any push. Jaws on the other side of this smoke. Mr. Cat, oh, he's going to spot him. Oh, Jaw gets the shot, though. That's the 5-7. Don't rescue the weapon, but they at least equalize things at 4 apiece. Which does get picked up by the grenade. Smear's even coming through, you know, trying to check up on his teammate's body, his teammate's gun. And I think he even realizes, yeah, we're not going to have that weapon. If they head towards it, I mean, there is a chance here for Bren to win the round. Especially with Derek, a really delayed peek. He goes for the re-peek. Man advantage down for the side of Bren. Again, another weapon down, but another weapon they can't rescue as they look to push down in towards Papachuli, getting some damage in. Just take a hefty amount himself. Score. What is with these rounds sometimes?
Well, that right there was just amazing timing by Pro, but the earlier fights like Sajah, I just don't know. He's on his way as well. Flanking all the way around. They have no idea. Annihilation's in danger, running towards the site, being spotted. There's a second. They have the info to play with. The kill takes a while, but he gets there eventually. Now down to 12 seconds left. Has to plant the bomb, but it is a 1v1. Tries to bait Derek out into the open. Can't quite get it. Another fake. Derek faded completely in. And Wright catches him off. 6-4. If he was just a little quicker getting that kill on the bomb planter, that could have been it, but Ja, he whiffed it.
What looks so good, too. Would have been a massive bounce back in the rounds. That's gotta hurt. I mean, get it close, that's obviously an upside, but that should have been there, shouldn't it, Mitch? Like, they should have been able to close it out, and yet, again, D13 pull it out. 6-4 on the T side. Annihilation, 11 HP as an A just comes in and rushes off to his side. Ooh, Poppy. Been big so far. Able to get a little bit of damage down. At least denies them the pop control they were looking to bounce off of.
Yeah, I love casting Bren with you, Jason, because I think by the end of this tournament, I'm going to have so many different clips of you going, oh, Poppy. It's going to be great.
I could do better if you want. I mean, I can record something for you.
Well, if you don't mind. Hey,
So bad for your girlfriend. Competing against me is not easy.
Not possible. For D13, they're already coming in. They're showing confidence. They're definitely performing on the T side with 6 rounds. Anything they get from now on is a bonus. And Bren, oh, they're struggling. And that one, the turnaround by Rate. Derek falls and a 4 versus 3 emerges. Bren falling behind yet again. despite a good solid start. Wits only gets a tag there. Raid and Annihilation both low. That's a possibility for Pro. He looks for them, doesn't see the player on top. Look at this, 10 HP on absolutely everybody, but Ja hasn't got enough guns. He needed to shoot in 3 different directions. They were everywhere. 7-4, another for D13, and they survived with 2 players on 10 health. That is depressing, but it is by that small margin. They're pulling ahead by quite a lot.
Gotta go like full akimbo if you want to be able to shoot in 3 directions, and even then, it's not going to be too possible.
Full akimbo, 3,600 DPI.
Oh my god. You could just, like a breath of air, just move your mouse in a full 360.
It was like you cough, just the air from that. You're spinning.
I've always been in that eternal battle of wanting to have my mouse sensitivity low enough that I could aim at long distances really easily, but high enough that I can turn around without knocking everything completely off my desk.
You could just tidy your desk up, Jason. Not that I can say anything. I think I literally have space around my... How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 9 glasses around my mouse mat right now.
And I'm pretty sure you have wrappers.
Oh, yes.
From, not candy bar, but from meals ordered.
Oh, yeah. Dude, there's boxes of just Subway beside me. Because we don't have time on these days to make food most of the time, right?
I mean, that's why you go shopping and, cook after the show. You do meal prep. I haven't, but I heard that. I heard people could do that.
Yeah, Subway's nice though. It's a nice little lunch.
Hashtag ad. Ooh, Wits. Derek's gonna respawn with 1 kill, but Score is gonna watch the aggression into Halls and Papachulo. Thought they slowed down in this game as D13 has started to run away with it. 4 players left alive, and it might just end up with 4. However, Derek's got an AK. Oh, what a flick! Again, quickly shut down by Annihilation, and Bren, I feel like it's been quite a few rounds since they've been able to really do much here so far. Was it 4 rounds ago? And it looks so promising. And again, there was like some rounds that just, if it went their way, they could have broke the economy out of D13. They could have had maybe another streak. I am a little bit worried when they come onto their T side, just in pure opping power. Then again, Annihilation hasn't needed to really go the full dinko. Didn't have to go pop at all. Thing is, I don't think most people out there even understand what we're talking about.
No, but see, Dingo's mic only does it for us on TeamSpeak, not on the stream. They don't get to experience the glorious popping. Just imagine someone was talking to you on a good microphone with popcorn brewing in the background. Ross Tammer, he couldn't get out of the smoke because he was running right into Derek. Derek realized that first, getting the kill. Now Score left alone almost immediately. That was a very swift round for Bren. They stacked completely up on this bomb site, and it's paid off. Score quickly able to find one. He's dangerously close to that molly. Nade hits him.
Oh my.
Second Molotov. Oh, he's almost dead already. 23 health remaining. Nade through.
Oh my god.
Insult to injury. That's 4 pieces of utility. Another molly, but luckily hit the smoke. Otherwise, Score was definitely dead.
He's gonna have PTSD here.
Just bombarding him. Now as he runs out, they're watching him. The AWP sees him swing from main. Oh, it's Wits that takes him, but Pro is there as well. He was just about to swing and take him down, and that is an 8-5 scoreline. Look, Bren are coming back, but even if they find 7, it's going to be a really rough T side for them. I said before, I feel like D13's main merit is going to be on their defense. Purely because pound for pound, I don't think Wits can match up.
Just catching him, throwing utility out. Wits hitting a couple of shots as well. The thing is, I feel like a lot of these rounds have been actually close, like extremely close. But the unfortunate part is that sometimes rounds just won't go your way, and it's been that kind of spiral against them. If you think back to Inferno, 6-0 start, they lose, was it 3 rounds and they're completely bankrupt? Or was it 2 rounds and they were completely bankrupt?
It was 2.
They go for the challenge once again. This is a precarious position actually to go for the double stack. But they also have Derek pushed up towards Hall, so they expect the hit to come in towards this inner bomb site.
Yeah.
It still might. I mean, it still could potentially be a fake. Mr. Cap's kind of looking for the AK pickup. He does get the weapon. He does lose his life, though, and Tamir tries to get in towards connector. He's going to be successful to do just that. But where's the bomb going? Okay, so we'll be coming outer, and Wits. Oh, he's got the angle. This would be a big play for him. Much needed kills. He's got to be careful, though. There's going to be a player rotating around. It's all in Tamir. Gets the first shot. And Poppy's been, well, Poppy hasn't spotted the player rotating. This could be bad. Wits could be completely caught off guard. This could easily turn into a 2-on-2, and there it goes. But still, getting the bomb down with 20 seconds left. Oh, Poppy, he's just playing it super safe. He wants to go for the anti-plant. There's the first kill. Spots on the second, and there we go. That will be another round picked up. And the money for D13 not going to be here in the final round.
He almost died to a Molotov on the way out there. Ended up on 2 HP, but saves the AK over nonetheless. Now, here we go. Let's not beat around the bush on this one. We gotta be real. D13 have already got a great T side. So Bren losing that last round or this one would be devastating. You only get 6 rounds on your CT side. That's pretty bad. And so as we move into this, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say that's not the Molotov Wits was aiming for. Damarita picks off Poppy Chula. That's the only AK on the T side, already finding an opening duel and suffering very little damage for it. All things considered. Wits holding, oh, it's a good nade. Holding down towards Ivy. They didn't hit anybody? He's in danger. First of all, he's not holding the actual choke point anymore, so they can push out and trade pretty easily. There's 3 players coming up close with pistols. He's given up the angle completely now. They can come through CT. There's a massive gap in this defense. Pro gets dropped down by a Tech 9. That's another rifle picked up. Wits now has all those pistols to worry about. They know where he is, and it's an easy trade. And a very lackluster CT side. Final round from Bren. They have to rely on individuals to clutch this out. Tamer so low, the nade not quite going to go to sight. As he tries to force the fight. Oh, he actually got it as well. Jazz now in a good position. Does he check close left? No! So Score eliminates him, and Derek has to 1v2 to get a 4K. Good damage done there. The spray transfer not landing. And so D13 will finish with 9.
Another 9-6 to add in the series. Mr. Cap, Annihilation on 8. Mr. Cap on 4. And for Bren's side, Derek, 16 kills. Really put up a good performance. However, 6 rounds they were able to accomplish isn't really something left to be desired. It's going to make their T side even more difficult now going into this. And I do worry once D13 gets, 1-2 ops. I worry that Bren might not have an answer. Might not have a response for it. Maybe picking up the pace would be ideal. Taking the pistol round here would be massive, honestly. They got the pistol round on the CT side, and well, I'm not sure it's going to go T side here. Score needs to help out his teammate. Mr. Cap gets another kill. 2-on-4. John Pro trying to get close, and they do get the first kill onto him, except they're going to lose a player themselves, and Jaw's left alone. A little flick comes through, but now he's 1-on-2. He does have the bomb, so not too big of a disadvantage. And he might be gifted a 1v1. Oh, no, Annihilation. Jaw's not going to hear it. Or does he?
He does. He's definitely heard it now, and a good shot to Annihilation. There's a USP upgrade for him, and back he goes towards the T-spawn. Jao playing the 300 IQ game. He thinks he's going to be flanked out, but not today. The ball is in Bren's court. Or Jazz more specifically. He's got to make a move. This pistol round is so valuable to them. The T side winning this most likely marks a force buy for their opponents in the next round. Then they can take an eco. They could be tied up 9-9 within no time. Ja around the corner, and they know where each other are. It's all down to the headshot. Whoever hits it first. Ja's quite low, swinging through, but he can't connect the shots. As Wright takes the pistol for D13, no bomb plan for Bren, and an eco to almost certainly come through from that T side. Without a bomb plan, you never really force by it.
so close. It was so close. Unfortunate, because that pistol round, I think, meant everything to them after being down 3 rounds at the end of the half. Annihilation on the scout, gonna get a little bit of an idea of what he can pull off on train if you guys missed out on the earlier games. It's very okay. He gets aggressive, he falls. Score's gonna return with onto 1. Witch tries to hold his ground and fight, but they're being gooshed up, they're being pressured. Score really wants these kills, and it cost him his life. I'm not sure how I feel about this so far, Mitch.
Considering the investment, I think that this is definitely a massive downside of a round for D13. They shouldn't have lost 2 players, and the potential to still lose more is definitely there. You can see how passive they're approaching it as well, right? Tails are firmly between their legs. And, I mean, really, even if they don't find anything else, I think they've already cooked the mustard. Things are looking good. The MP9 for Papi Chulo marks a money-making opportunity. Making it towards that site is going to be difficult. The scout was holding them for a moment. Actually, that timing's worked out quite well. It's allowed the MP9 to post up, get some damage to Annihilation, but there's the scout tag, and now it's a very simple kill from long range. Mr. Cap makes up for a little bit of the economy lost. But you'll see here, look, Bren are going to get a full investment, AKs, all that sort of stuff. And with D13 having that early lead, they don't really get a grasp on their economy. Score having to invest, and even still into utility, he'll be fairly light. Tamer is an MP9, but the utility in the armor has cost him all his money as well, and Mr. Cap even isn't that healthy. They'll only get 1,400 if they lose a round. So immediately, that'll be an eco. But Bren need this. Losing this round, I think you're probably just looking forward to the next map at that point.
Whoa, Ray only gets 1. He actually doesn't deke anyone else. Well, unfortunate for him. Such an aggressive play. They're already being flanked from behind. What's going on here? Here he gets the 1. Gets the bomb down, or at least spotted now. This does get secured. He does somehow escape on top of his back down pop. Man advantage their way, even though the weaponry wasn't to their advantage. I'm so scared. He's gonna come back up again. There's no way. Are they gonna expect this? No, Wits falls too. This is a 12th run coming on the board here for D13 and Bren. Oh my god!
Come on.
Mitch. I got no answer.
Yeah, well, you know what, Jason? You're not the only one. Evidently, Bren don't either. And now we expect this D13, right? Well, let me rephrase. We expect a good CT side from D13, but it's the manner in which they're doing it, and the method to their madness. Finding out those rounds with SMGs and avoiding really losing anybody in that one. I agree with the sentiment. And Bren are far, far behind at this point, and looking to take an eco in this one. 13-6 most likely on the board. I expect a change of pace from the T side. Probably a faster round. I hope a couple smokes are taken at least. Maybe just run it down B. I mean, it worked for D13. See what they want. No utility. Derek's bought Kevlar, and he's using the Glock. Yeah, okay, there we go. A little bit of sense made with the deagle drop to him.
Not really gonna matter though, will it?
That's dirty. I mean, he does not deserve that. He just wide swung versus, like, on an anti-eco. Just pushed Ivy with an AK. That is not a smart move. But, hey, you gotta commend the spray, I guess.
Yeah. I think this is going to a third map. I think we're going to see Nuke then at this rate.
Strong possibility. I mean, once they won that previous buy round, I thought, yeah, that's it. Once they get 12-6. D13 just too dominant. I mean, we haven't even had Annihilation needing to step it up. He hasn't been given the opportunities, really. Now getting the op-out on the CT side versus a full buy, this is where he starts to dominate. The AWP's in the hands of Ja over on the T side. What's up with that? Off spawn, actually. I think he's slightly further ahead. But he's also at an angle. I don't think it'll make that much of a difference. But we've seen Ja before. He takes secondary op on some maps. Definitely capable.
But I feel like we just seen too many holes in Bren's side to warrant a comeback, even on their defense. I mean, they got pushed Ivy a couple times. No one watching. Ja, that's really peak Annihilation is going to be ready. Another manage here to D13. Manage, sorry. Manage. I slurred my words together. It's still early. And they get two. When you're just seeing a completely different D13, the confidence is going to be there. I think on Inferno, like one of the problems we saw for D13 was that their mid-round calls. I think that's what we've been kind of criticizing them these last few days. And a map like Train with how their T side went with Bren really kind of struggling, it alleviated that pressure of having to make too many of them, of having to like change things up middle of the round. It looks like they will go for a hit. Bren on the inner bomb site. Rage just waiting, watching the edge of the smoke. They have a flash of smoke to throw through, so gonna step a wall in front of them so they can get in towards the site. Or not, just flashbangs. Rate's completely blind. How has he not been checked? And he will drop to pro. But down to the 3-on-4. The bomb should be planted actually within the smoke. Kind of like this, changing up the angle you're going to be playing from. Now, after plant situation. And look at this, Score's in behind. He fluffs the spray quite a bit. Papachulo, though, won't. At least he's focused on staying alive. 22 HP. Annihilation with the op. Nade comes in, Wit's down to 6. Doesn't get the tag on to Mr. Cat, makes things even more difficult now for Papachulo, who's looking to wrap around the train. 15 seconds left to go. They do have the kid on Mr. Cat, and they should know he's been able to back away. But the thing is, they know where to plant it from. It's in the smoke, but he's shooting the wrong angle. He does actually get the guy off the bomb, but he doesn't have time. Somehow Papachulo clutches it out. Oh, sorry, I thought, wow, okay.
Wrong bar.
Yeah, I thought I saw Mr. Cap on it. Wait, what? Did Annihilation stick it?
I didn't notice he stuck it.
Because he didn't have a kit. Maybe he picked one up on site.
Had a kit for sure.
Okay, maybe he picked one up on site then.
Yeah, 14-6. This is pretty much it. Brenner. It was Annihilation. Okay. But Brenner in a position now where coming back into this is practically impossible. You know, T side 10 rounds in a row, 9 even just to guarantee an overtime. See him getting better, Jason. Oh, Score not connecting that opening shot. He's solo B. Oh no, he's not. As I glanced, he was right above the player. So it's not as big a deal. Mr. Cappy loves pushing Ivy, but Bren loved giving it to him. I will say, now, although he's been successful, he's playing with half a deck on that one. Luckily, mostly aces. Versus those pistols was just such a wild play.
The deck of aces? Isn't that not a proper deck? That sounds a little illegal. Yeah. I think you can play poker with that.
I don't think so. I mean, you could technically, right? You could play poker with a 6-card deck.
Wait.
No, wait, you couldn't. You need 5 down, right? You need, like... You got 10 cards, you can play poker.
How many people?
2.
Only 2.
It'd be very easy.
Well, no, you can't, because you change your cards, don't you? Or is that Texas Hold'em?
No, that's Texas Hold'em is you got 2. The other...
Yeah, so poker you exchange cards. You can't even play with 2.
Texas Hold'em is poker, though. It's a different kind of poker.
Yeah, but... Standard poker is you get 5 cards, and then you change them out.
No, it's not.
The best hand.
No, it's not. Texas Hold'em standard poker. What are you talking about?
I gotta look this up in a minute. Seeing Annihilation pull this back with 3 and 4 kills. We missed that entire hand talking about poker. And that was an insane couple of shots. That was Bren Esports opening things up. That was the round to win. But we talked about the flashy plays of Annihilation, and he does it yet again. Gets himself to 15.
Oh, yeah, Annihilation is just nuts. This is the one we were looking for, right? This is the Annihilation we were waiting to see, shot after shot. This is the first time we got off topic this map, I think. And of course, Annihilation pulls out a 1v4. Cheers, mate. Stuck at last round as well. It's 2 rounds he's pretty much responsible for winning, and 15-6. And we can pretty much count Bren out of this one.
Okay, I was right. Texas Hold'em, you get 2 cards, and you have to play the river.
Yeah.
But in regular poker, you're given 5, and you can exchange cards. So you can't play poker with 10 cards.
Well, conventional casino poker is Texas Hold'em. That's like what the pro leagues are. I don't know if there's a pro league for whatever that other one's called. I've never played it. Annihilation, look, he's opening this one up. My god. 5 versus 4. Bren already at the disadvantage. They're looking at Totem Pole, comes straight down on top of Tamer though, so he gets the spray down. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, and Bren, well, they're yellow and leaking all over the place. It's 16-6 as that one comes to a conclusion. Oh my god, Jason, that was
That's the convincing game that we expect at D13 on train, to be fair.
Yeah, true.
Like, that's the D13 we saw on day 1, and we're seeing it yet again. That means we're going over to Nuke, and this, again, can be a semi-op heavy map depending on, you know, the outside positions, but I think it's going to be more, you know, Inferno-based with the rifles, the run and gunning. Blett and Dinko, sorry you didn't get as long as a break as maybe you're expecting there. I know you're really, you know, worn out after being on camera for about 5 minutes in total today. But walk us through that game here. Let's start off with that 4K out of Annihilation. He started to play in the Annihilation way that we saw before.
Yeah, go on.
You go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, I thought you were always for it.
Well, anyways, guys,
I'll take it over.
Youth for
So-
beauty, as I say.
I mean, we were talking about Annihilation on the A-bomb site and how impactful he was going to be coming into trade. It's an op-centric map. We talked about how difficult it was going to be for Bren to handle him and what he pops off. I mean, he was relatively quiet, I think, through regulation. He was around 11 kills before he got that 4K, so pretty impressive stuff. I have to say, Annihilation is one of the flashiest offers in this region. You remember Annihilation Flick, right? And that's the thing. This guy is definitely impressive. I'm looking forward to seeing him get consistent, though. I want to see him continue this in every single series they go up against, because going up against the likes of Kaze and the other offers in the region, and Dan King when he's on form, obviously we've already seen them play against Tyloo, and Dan King wasn't exactly on his top level then, but it'd be interesting to see Annihilation go up against the best offers in the region time and time again.
Yeah, I pretty much, I think you nailed it for Annihilation, right? I also feel like the opponents where he performs well against to give him a little too much room to run around. Like, look at that, the 4K got an 8 bombs. Firstly, incredible shots, but again, like, you know how good he is. You don't want to give him an angle to peek where he can take a shot, fall back, re-peek out, or take a new position. You want to ensure that if he gets a kill, he immediately... I mean, look at these shots. These are not... That's... What was that on Wits?
What do you think my eyes move that fast?
I know, I'm not even able to, like, comprehend what I just witnessed there. And that's a scary thing about his player, and they're giving too many opportunities. But I feel like for Bren, 6 rounds on the CD side, it was never going to be enough, right? It is train. Yes, you know, you're now winning a few more rounds on the T side and whatnot, but I felt like they needed way more. But even if it got to 9 or 10 rounds, Jason, I feel like the team would have run away with this. They were, like, playing so fearlessly, and especially once they feel comfortable around the usual spots on the map, it's just going to be running away with it. Nuke, however, should be more interesting, though.
Yeah, you know, look, I think we all thought Train was definitely going to be going the way of D13. Nuke, I really don't know how I feel about that map going into it. Because again, Annihilation's hitting shots. Rate did start to step up a lot more when they needed it. He's been kind of one of the bottom fraggers of the Golden 3 that we've seen. I still feel weird saying that. Actually, now thinking back to the Golden 5. But either way, it's frustrating for Bren. Again, they take the first map so convincingly. They lose the map so convincingly. And Nuke, I mean, that has to mean it's going to be a close map, I would assume, Mitch.
Yeah, you would guess so. I feel very weird making any sort of prediction in this series, just because now that we see, obviously, no concrete evidence on how Bren can play Nuke, I don't know what I'm really going to expect from them. I think Alpers are going to play a lesser role, obviously, than on Train, so maybe Annihilation can't get as much done, which is a risky thing to say. I'm hoping for a close map, but something about this tells me D13 are going to take it without even letting Bren on double digits.
Oh, okay, big words. Okay. We've been talking about Annihilation. We're talking about Wits quite a bit as well. We're going to look at a comparison between the two, I believe, from that last map. And yeah, as you said before, Annihilation getting the majority of his kills, or at least a good portion in that 1v4 that he was able to pull off. But, you know, ADR, a slight difference, and the op kills, it's actually not as one-sided as I thought it would have been, to be fair, Dinko.
No, I think Wits is just quietly okay. He's not going to be flashy like Annihilation. He's not going to be able to get those kind of highlight rounds, but as long as he's getting kills, and he is one of the top AWPers in the tournament in terms of AWP kills, so alongside Annihilation. So yeah, I think Wits is a little bit underrated in that respect. Like, he definitely gets a lot of impact frags. It's just not going to be flashy. And if he can consistently get important kills, like one and run round and then go down, at least he's getting something. And you have to get value out of the AWP. It's the most expensive weapon purchased and that's in play. And so you can't really expect a player not to get kills with it. If that's the case, then obviously that player needs cut. So Woods is doing a good enough job in terms of getting the frags. I would just love to see him be a little bit more flashy and get involved and take the fight into his own hands. I think he has the skill set to do it. I don't really see him doing it often, though.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Like, see, the thing for Wits, though, he was negative on opening duels. He was bottom frag the server as well, with 12 for 17. Lowest ADR as well. Like, I feel like that was just an atrocious map, considering it's Train. If it's like Inferno, if it's probably any other map, I'd be like, yeah, okay, you know, it's just a bad map, whatever. But it's Train. You really got to be performing better than that.
Well, but you kind of explained the situation there. Out of his 12 kills, 7 of them were op kills. And on a map like Train, when you can't afford to buy up the op, you need to have someone you can rely on to be able to use the rifle, which is something we talked about in map 1, with Annihilation having the better headshot rate compared to Wits there. So assuming Annihilation's been able to play the rifles a lot better, or maybe he's just hitting more headshots with AWP. Either way, we will be heading to a break. When we come back, we'll be breaking things down on Nuke, our third and final one here of the first series of the day.
地图往事。Nuke 拥有多层结构，易守难攻，是 CS:GO 中经久不衰的地图之一。外场向来都是狙击手们对决的舞台。在2015年群星赛上 ，Simple 用一杆轻狙以一记匪夷所思的穿墙爆头，震惊了现场及屏幕前的每一位观众。铁板是 Team 进攻 B 点的主要路径。在2020年 IEM 卡托维兹决赛上，效力于 Na'Vi 的 Flaming 正是在此处穿烟1打4，彻底粉碎了 G2 的冠军梦。来到 B 区包点，这里4通8达，战斗往往在入口处就已经结束。K1是外场进入 B 区的路线 ，Forest 曾在这里以1敌5，凭借个人实力逐个击破，拯救了队伍。那一刻的他，是所有人心目中的英雄。当然，总有人能够突破过往。2018年 IEM 芝加哥的比赛里，九爷忍者附体，轻松躲过体方5人的搜索，成功潜入包点并拆包成功，兵不血刃地赢得了比赛，完成了另一种形式的1打5。这就是竞技，永远充满了奇迹。锁定我们的赛事，也许下一个传奇即将诞生。
Well, we're going to be going to the knife round now as we continue PAL 2020, the coverage brought to you by PGL, the Summer Asia RMR event. And we find out at the end of this game which team will be taking a victory, and a much needed victory technically for both teams.
Yeah, we know both teams can play it. I feel like this is going to be a potential mid-ground, but just based on the performance of D13, we know that their opping power definitely is miles ahead. I'm feeling like this is going to be their map. I want to see Bren do it. I mean, to be honest, if Bren win this, it makes the brackets a whole lot more interesting as well, because then there's a serious threat for D13 to potentially go out. I mean, let me go and check their upcoming games. They've got to play Tiger, Invictus, Vici. They lost to Divine Vendetta, but having beat Maslai and Lucid Dream, I think would probably keep them still in playoffs. But bottom seed would then be a potential, and you don't want to take bottom seed. It means you're playing probably against Tyloo. Nobody wants that. So as we come into the pistol round, which will be starting in just a moment, you can see D13 are going to be starting on the T side. That's a pretty significant disadvantage. I mean, the knife round does play a pretty pivotal role when it comes to Nuke. Bren get to start where they feel comfortable over on the CT side. Now, obviously, they've lost a player due to a small tech issue. They'll be coming back in just a moment. We won't make them start 4v5. Be a little bit unfair. But I do think that, getting to start on the CT side, we will get to see the pace set from the very beginning. If they come in and manage to find themselves the pistol, they get off to a significant enough lead of like 5-0 somewhere along that region, they're in a pretty good position to probably close this one out. I think you would again be looking at like a 9-6 in favor of the CT side. That's always, on most maps, that's like the benchmark, right? You don't want the T's to do all too well. You can throw it out the window a bit on Dust 2 or Mirage, but on these more significantly CT-sided maps, I think 9 rounds is where you should be looking for on the defense.
Thing is, it's been in this series, it's going to kind of look to go over the scoreboards on Inferno. I mean, Derek finished off plus 11. On Train, Derek finished off plus 2. The only one actually finished positive within his team, and they only had 6 rounds. That really kind of shows how many kills he was getting. 93 ADR in that map, 93.8 ADR on Inferno. I'm a little bit worried if Derek doesn't perform, will the rest of his team be able to? I mean, he was clearly leaps and bounds beyond better than anyone on the team so far. Oh, hey, there we are.
Oh.
I didn't even realize my camera was still on. So I think I looked back at the stream there when I was looking at the stats. So yeah, if Derek doesn't have a strong performance, I'm a little bit worried. Wits went -10 so far in the series. He's -5 on both maps. Whereas Annihilation, he's actually +4. He's not a positive result. But then again, you expect with the 16-6, probably going to have a little bit of inflated kills going your way.
By the way, I've had a lot of time sitting on Nuke waiting for games to start. I don't know what it is about this map in particular. But you notice, I notice it here more than any other map. I don't know if it's there on the likes of an Inferno Mirage. There's this like whistling wind in the background.
Yeah, it's windy.
Yeah,
You think wind doesn't exist?
Within CSGO, didn't think it needed to, but yeah, it's always
That's
like...
why my nades always miss. The wind the gust of wind blows the wrong direction.
Yeah.
End up nading my teammates and getting kicked. Actually, there's a funny clip on Reddit I saw the other day of someone playing matchmaking. He throws a decoy over on Dust 2 on CT side at long.
Okay.
And apparently, like, his teammates all got each other like really low before the decoy was to explode, all stood on top of it, and he killed 4 people on his team and got banned from the game.
Oh
It was
my God.
hilarious, but obviously, hope those 4 players did get punished for it.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I've seen a lot of bad stuff when it comes to matchmaking. People being kicked at like 15-13 or something. It's a lot of mean dudes out there. Yeah, it looks like Bren are still having that tech issue, Jason. I mean, I hope this gives them a little bit of time to think about how they're going to approach this. But when it comes to CT pistol run, I guess there's not that much depth. If anything, it probably helps D13 a little bit.
Are you as curious as I am on how the monitor isn't connected to anything and yet it's powered?
See, some monitors have cables that go up through the stand, right?
Really?
So maybe that's it. Like mine, I've got.
So what's in the box?
It's a good question. I think these are just here for Bled to stand on when we do death segments.
I mean, you're one to talk. Let's be honest. I'll back up my boy.
Perfectly average height. That's all I'm saying.
You know, you keep saying that, but it doesn't mean you're not short. It just means the average height is short.
And that makes
Doesn't make any sense,
Jason.
actually. Yeah,
You're
it really
making
makes
no
no
sense
sense
here.
at all. You know what? Half of what I said is it makes sense. We still have more matches come up later on, obviously, if you guys are tuning in. We still have Tyloo against Beyond, pretty much a battle of the top of the standings. Let's see how that one's going to break down. That should be the next match coming up. And then Tiger up against Vici. So, honestly, some crazy games throughout the entire day. Probably some of the best days we have. We're going to wave goodbye to you guys. We hop straight in. I'm surprised Mitch didn't give a salute, knowing him stealing away what Bled likes to do.
Yeah, I don't want to get copyright infringement from Bled. Already got the cease and desist in the mail. Now here we go. The pistol round starting off as
They lost. Okay.
Oh no, it's just a UI. This happened to us before, right? Oh, Jazz in danger. He's got to back on down through the ramp, being pushed by D13 quite quickly as they close in the distance and look for that fight. Ja with one headshot. Another kill would be great, but he can't manage it. D13 could be in for a bomb plant with another frag going their way. Pro is taken down, and although we've already got Derek down below in the vents, he knows there's a player up on the A side. Papi Chulo is on the way up behind, and they need this kill to pull it back to a 3v3, but Tamer, excuse me, I don't know what that was, managed to actually find it. Now they've got vent control and everything going the way of D13.
But I want to call him the name he is in game.
Tamarita.
Oh, okay, Poppy. That clip to add to the collection for you.
Oh, Poppy.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I mean, he had 3 players come out of vents. He hit a couple of good shots there. That could have been enough to pull it back in the favor, but D13 survived with 4. Only losing out against Tamir. And now Bren going to be on basically the full save. Oh, it's so clean. I wonder if they went through that like frame by frame to make that as like perfect as possible. A little transition.
And I think someone's put a lot of time into that.
I mean, you know, coronavirus, people working from home, they have the time to give.
Just bored. Let's unload a camera.
Yes.
Oh,
That was really good handwriting for a mouse. Oh my gosh. Did you
I'm
notice
quite
that?
impressed. Yeah, you should see my signatures on these contracts. It's horrendous. It's like a child's gotten sick on the page.
Or is he, or is he observing with, you know, the writing pens? I don't know. I can't remember what those are called.
Stylus.
Stylus, yeah. That was really good handwriting. I'm like super impressed. Hopefully, I'll be more impressed though.
Life.
Yeah. Every time I have to write, I'm sorry for the kindergarten scratch.
Yeah, they don't teach you much in the States, do they?
What, writing?
Yeah.
I mean, I learned cursive, but I've used it like never in my life. Oh, bro. Good shot coming through, trying to get around to get sprayed down. The shot's going to connect. They're going to rush straight into this one, and I'm not sure why they're rushing when they're against the Deagles. Derek, another 2 kills.
Of all the places as well, Jason, straight through Squeaky. A small choke point where Deagles can just spam you to death. Peeking from above and the side, and I gotta say, that's a round D13 deserved to lose, really. Bren gonna be over the moon to have so much damage done already, and presumably another Galil just about to be hand-delivered to them. Wits takes a little bit of damage though, he's dropped down, but luckily Pro will survive. An AK retrieve for him, a Galil as well, and they're not gonna make it over to door where I think there might have been another AK for them.
Massive round. Pro. Derek, again, I talked about Derek before. He's been their top fragger, their best player in this series, and he's continuing to do so here yet again. I feel like he's going to have to do it a third time if you want to be able to take on Nuke. And after losing the pistol, now they're against the force bat at D13. To be amazing for them to win out. It'll set themselves up nicely for the T side, which I think, again, they might struggle. They're going to try to, like, rush straight down towards vent. I mean, it looks like they're going to nade it down. And they have the crossfire with Pro and Papachulo. They're definitely taking their time. Like, they're not really even watching outside, actually. Maybe Tamir's going to be looking for outside play or an outside push. Nades have come through. The door is destroyed, and Pro coming in towards main. They're being so careful about this. I think it's catching Bren off guard a bit. A little bit hesitant to go for any plays.
Despite that kill from Score, they just run right on into the SMG. If Papachulo is able to take a 3K, and with that, I mean, he should just tuck in. Peeking here is a little bit risky with 3 health. It doesn't seem to matter. They're just cleaning up. As Score's last alive, he takes down Wits. They know he's on ramp. With 24 seconds left, he's got to retrieve the bomb, which is down just outside the vents. Don't really see a whole lot of promise for them in this one.
No. This is a solid round. I mean, Papachulo getting a lot of money from this. In the force up before, they didn't have the best of buys here. I think that's why we saw D13 go for the force themselves. Just doesn't work out for them. At least they're going to save the 1 AK. Hope they make a hero play happen from it. Oh, the wind.
Well, round number 4 is going to see just that AK saved over for Score, and you can see it's actually done a bit of damage to their economy, really saving that weapon. Because the rest of the team are going to be looking in for a buy in the next round. The loss bonus building up. It'll be AK, small bit of utility. But Score can't. He can't afford it anymore. The rest of his team only have Glocks as well, so there's not a whole lot to really back him up. In order to make this worthwhile, he's going to have to do a lot of damage. And we've seen it before, right? I mean, he was the player that single-handedly opened up the B site with a 3K. So he's not one that you want to doubt or give too much space to. But he's also the only player with armor. So if he dies, it's not as simple as saying his teammates can pick it up and use it. It won't be very effective. There's a kill from at least. The AK Pro challenged up close. Doesn't know there's a pistol right behind him, but he fades right past Annihilation, who's searching for him amidst the smoke, but can't seem to find him. Score has fallen in the meantime, and Jat, I don't know, what was that, up from ramp? He took him down either way.
Our Score can't really even go for the AK either. He's going to be hurting on the buy just a tad bit. And Bren, after losing pistol, have bounced back, and it bounced back pretty well. Getting wits on the op here in this round, I feel like that's a slightly dangerous move. However, buying up a rifle in that round instead would mean he wouldn't have the op for the round after. Unless a teammate was going to drop him over one. Looks like he might go for the, I was going to say the air cast play, but doesn't have the scope for it. Instead, he just gets the kill onto Tamir. So Wits, some confidence gaining for him, and not a bad sign. Jaw just completely random square with the Galil, gets down 2. He's going to fall, but that's still going to be a 4-on-2, 2-man advantage for Bren. They have Wits waiting. Confidence, Wits is starting to feel it. 3 kills in 2 rounds with AWP. Gonna be spotted out, and Derek's there to close it out. And Bren Esports, well done so far here on Nuke. I'm fairly impressed. They could have a 5th, especially since D13 don't really have the money.
It's a good start for Bren for sure. We mentioned the T side can always have these slow starts and still come back into it. It's not the end of the world for D13, but it does definitely hurt. They started it out with a little bit of promise, winning the pistol round, and quite convincingly at that, and then afterwards, well, they're coming in, just rushing the bomb into vents with everybody else on outside. Now the bomb is dropped, and quite difficult to retrieve. Pro, oh man, he loses that long-range fight to Glocks and a P250. That's a big yikes. Tamer's also so far up already. Oh, this can't be a round they win. Surely, Jad didn't even react. Didn't know what was happening when he got dinged.
Yeah, for them to bounce back second round with the next 3 after, then to lose to this. Oh my, it's gonna happen. The bomb's still gonna be down towards outside. It will be recovered. 2-on-3 now. Wits doesn't want to lose his AWP. Tamir, oh, he's gonna make him. This has just gone all pear-shaped. Now 1-on-2. Papa Chulo's not gonna expect the player in towards main. Score closes it out. Score gets a triple kill. Tamir gets a double. Now Bren are gonna be left scratching their heads, wondering what's going on.
I mean, for D13 coming into that round, really you're expecting 1 or 2 kills. That's a good round for them. And then, I mean, they win the long-range duel. When you've only got pistols on outside, or when your opponents only have pistols on outside, you own it, right? That is the part of the map that you undoubtedly control. The range duels should always go in your favor, and yet they absolutely do not. Be absolutely gutted if you're Bren losing that round. And we talked about, you know, they're getting off to a good start, and that was obviously on the basis and the presumption that they were going to be taking it 5-2 or 5-1, excuse me, at the time. They still have the potential to win this, but they've given D13 an unnecessary opportunity, as the T side looked for outside control early on, and they've not spotted anybody contesting there. They will move into main. Jazz completely pushed up. Having a UMP means he can take a couple of risks, and so he's tucked up close in radio, ready to make a move and do some damage if they do come this way. Steps are being heard. He knows there's at least 2 or 3 in T main at this point. Depending on if he's been able to distinguish the directions, and as the smokes and mollies come over, he starts his push. This is going to be a very early flank.
Gotta hit the shots though. There's gonna trade 1-for-1, spots up a 2 and towards Hut, gets the kill, and again backs away. He doesn't over-aggress. Want to keep the man advantage, keep them guessing, even folks up as they try to rush straight in towards them. Flash comes through, and Csgo gets the first, gets some damage onto Annihilation. Still the 3-on-2. Wits, oh, that would have been a hell of a shot to hit. Imagine this should be the bomb planted. Esport can do something about it. Smoke comes through. Papachulo actually gonna flash, come straight through the smoke. Rate rushes towards the enemy side, throws the bomb away. Bren will get the round.
That was crazy. Ooh, that was a crazy decision. Also killing Annihilation after time. That one hurts them even more. And for Bren, going through the smoke there, it was a bit wild, but I gotta give props to Jad. That round was absolutely huge by him. The position he got himself in, as I said, when you've got a UMP, you can take a couple of risks to try to maximize the potential with it. He gets the kill, falls back, drops the smoke, and then plays super passive. So I want you to watch, oh, we didn't see it, but he turned right so that the flashbang that he knew they would flash through the smoke, that it didn't connect, and he could then turn and take a kill, even does more damage onto another player. I mean, that was nearly a 300 damage round from him. You cannot complain about that kind of situation. Single-handedly saved the A site from being pushed in the first place.
You got the op back in the hands of Wits. D13 on the force another time. I mean, I'm not saying Bren are being gifted rounds here, but they're being gifted so many opportunities to get such a massive lead on CT side. Back to the round before. 2 for D13. That's a round they should never have been able to pull off. I think that was Pro who gets caught off in garage. Long range with pistols, gets dinged up almost immediately and then falls. The AK's been picked up and it's really good for 1. Derek only good for 1 too. Under the 3-on-3, 2 weapons rescued, and another one's going to be an op because Wits has fallen. This was a 4-step, Mitch, and this is another 4-step that Bren are going to lose. Or I guess that D13 are going to win.
Exactly. At this point, again, we're in it. The M4 carried forward. But it doesn't really allow them to... Well, hold on. So Pro can buy up, what, a FAMAS and armor, no utility. Jack can do the same. Poppy could drop an M4. And they'll be super low on util. They're going to go for it. Pro with a Mag 7. Now, we've seen a really high rate when people do buy shotguns, Jason, of Mag 7s instead of XMs. Whereas in Europe, it's majority XM. Whoa, Pro, you're not going to get to use that Mag 7, I don't think. Spam through the smoke for 80 damage. Yikes. This is another... Like, realistically, Jason, this could have been deals again. And they just rushed A.
Yeah. It definitely could have been. I mean, we always have the hindsight of being able to see that that was going to be a rush. Maybe we're expecting a slower play out of D13. I'm not sure why they made the decision to do what cost them a round before. I think it was round 2, yeah. They lost the second round from it. And it pays off, and then, you know, it's still going to make me think back to the, just because it worked doesn't mean it was right. Doesn't mean it was good. Oh. Aw. I like to see the attempts, but they're just against the 5 USPs. This should be D13 equalizing. This also could have been like 7-2. Some of how these rounds gone, and unfortunately how they finished off against Bren. I mean, likewise, you also say maybe for D13. They could have a massive lead if they didn't lose the second round.
I mean, it's not out of the question for Bren to already be up on 7. They've just made a couple of those big mistakes. There's some damage at least for Jam. Maybe he can save this AK. They're gonna go plant on the B site. If I'm Jad at the moment, I'd probably just hunker down, look to carry this weapon through. I mean, the economy damage he can do is basically non-existent. I'd also much rather him be up in heaven. I think where he's at right now, he can be peeked from way too many angles. They could come out of the door beside him, over in garage. They could come from outside, up above him. If you get into heaven, there's only 2 angles of approach, and from bomb site's pretty unlikely. So they'd have to boost up to hunt you. Or yeah, even spawn. Spawn is good too. Maybe a little bit more predictable. Luckily though, they're clearing out the T-spawn, not CT, so he's good to bring that AK through to the next round. And on the back of that, he can actually... Oh, he doesn't have armor. I was going to say he could drop an op. I mean, technically he could, but I don't think that's the right call.
No, and I don't think necessarily D13 are playing away anymore for the op to be effective.
No.
At least on outside.
And even when they were on train, the op was not effective, so... You know, taking a glass cannon, or taking a... I don't know what you even call it, a no armor AK would just be reckless.
Oh, wow, just a straight up aim battle coming in between Derek and Tamir. Or will be the one to be worse for wear. He's going to be the one to back off. Pro is trying to be very careful of anyone coming towards outside. Looks like they will set up a wall of smokes. Yeah, I'm actually surprised to not see them go for like the set plays to get into secret as often. They've been really favoring the plays towards ramp or the plays towards the upper bomb site. And the smokes will come down. It's forced out maybe some rotations. As we can see, it's still going to be coming towards upper. Good incendiary, though, to buy some time. Smoke comes in to rock it off and doesn't really catch it fully, and they run through the fire. Really giving away a false sense of security. And Bren, maybe a little bit of luck there that smoke doesn't put the Molotov out.
Definitely. I mean, Annihilation and Mr. Cap were caught inside it. They were over in the corner of Hut, but that molly was dead center, so it spread to them. Smoke doesn't cover it all. One dies, the other tries to get out, but gets sprayed. And Derek's been huge for Bren this series. He really deserves a massive shout-out. Coming into this tournament, I think we were all looking towards the likes of Papi Chulo to do a lot of that damage, but for me, Derek has been the standout across the vast majority of their games. Is just one of the most consistent. Inferno, he dropped 25 kills. Train as well, 18. He was top fragging by quite a bit. And really, when you've got someone that's performing as consistently as Derek, it's what gives you a chance in a series like this. But at 6-5, they need to step it up at a level that can't just rely on one player. They've got to win the majority of these rounds to close it out. 9-6 is what they're aiming for. They started out well by only allowing D13 the pistol and then winning a streak of rounds afterwards. And failing to get that 9 on the board will be a huge disadvantage for the next half. Molly, oh, the flash was perfect. That was Raid's flash. Yikes.
Score got so far into the site, too. Not even being spotted out. Now Tamir's left against 3. Let's get the first, but Pro's going to shut him down. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they maybe even expected Score to get that far in, considering where the flashbang did catch him out on. If Flash wasn't there, I wonder if Score's able to get that first kill and turn it into an upper take. Unfortunate.
Very much a 50-50 fight, but the molly was burning up Papi Chulo as well, so probably more in Score's favor without that flash.
I'll back in for Wits. Annihilation's going to have an op as well. Maybe a slight battle towards the outside. Wits is already there, and I think Annihilation is slowly creeping his way up. Yeah, you can see them slowly looking for it. Trying to spot any aggression out of the CTs. And I think it's smart to do so, considering the CTs haven't really pushed outer. Wouldn't be surprised to see them do that in one of the rounds to look for a quick win. Wits will back off. We'll get up the ground. I mean, if Bren closes us out 10-5, I think an amazing CT side for them. There you go. The battle for the bottom bomb site will commence. And only, was it Derek, actually has even rotated, even remotely. Incendiary comes through. He's been flashed up. He's going to be completely blinded out as well. And he's going to be rushed down. The bomb site should be taken. No more smokes left, though, for D13. So I'm a little bit worried on how they actually get the bomb planted, especially when Bren already have multiple players who know how to deal with this.
No rates. Making up for the flashbang in the previous round. Isn't he 2 quick kills? Wits showing he's got the flick potential. And with Pappy finding another, they're going to commit to this. I'll go back in for the retake. Bombs just being planted. Question is, where are they going to go? Wits has given up a lot of the control on ramp, imagining they'll try to push up close and exploit the downside of the AWP, but although they've pushed up close, they're not going to push through. Tanner, what are you doing? Luckily, Wits for some reason took his knife out and came off the angle. And with that, they decided to save. I mean, that was potentially the round if he stayed scoped in a second longer.
Surprised to see the bomb go down there, though. Still, no utility really. Have to defend it. Oh, Wits. Oh, good shot. So Tamir does eventually fall, just not in the position we thought so. It's 7-6 now. D13 on the verge of tying it up, and potentially on the verge of taking the first half lead. You know, Mitch, if you were to look at how the game's played out now, would your prediction change for how this third final map will go?
No, I think I'd still side with D13. I think they've looked better in the buy rounds. They obviously got off to a 4-1 start, which is never ideal. That's against you after winning the pistol round, but look at this. There's just so many rounds. Well, Molly's not ideal. There's so many rounds that they come in and just completely dominate on an individual level. I mean, you can even put one of the buy rounds that Bren have down to that team flash by rate, those small mistakes, and yet still they bounce back and they just dominate. And it's not even strats, right? Like, what was that? Rush out on A, chuck a flash, let's go. And it works at every single turn. They're going through smokes in some instances, just hitting every single shot.
I mean, I won't lie, I've always been a big fan of rushes, of quicker play. Especially with how slow they've been playing, just switch up the pace against them. Once with the scout. I mean, this is not the vibe you want to see for the CT side in the last round of the half. He's got a 6 skin to go with it, the blood in the water.
Fire in the sky.
What?
It's like smoke in the water.
Blood in the water.
Yeah, no, it was close. Alright, it was close.
What?
Bomb has been planted.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, Jason. The reference didn't hit. It's all good. 1 round left. This is it. Bomb plant down, man disadvantage, but weaponry advantage. I guess we're getting close to even territory. As Bren look to push forward, they look to use their numbers to overwhelm the T's. Tamer able to get himself a double, and up comes Mr. Cap to do some damage. He's got another teammate with him. That's Annihilation around with the AWP. Try and find some more damage. Yeah, that defuse not being stuck. They've spotted that out. This should be about as clean as can be. These players are so low. Annihilation left alone. He's quite low himself. Having to reload the Tech 9. Time is quite low in the defuse. They weren't sticking it. They weren't able to.
No. So 8-7. Pretty good. I'm pretty proud of D13. Again, you see, first round they win, then they lose round 2, then lose the following 3 after. So lose 4 in a row. And then that one round we ended up seeing later on, I really wonder how that could have potentially changed how this map could have gone. When they had a force up and they win a battle against an AK long range, they get a flank on towards ramp, they win the round. Look at Wits. Credit to him. You know, we give him a lot of flack, but he's currently, you know, given the top ADR in the entire server. He's up to 11 kills. Pro is the one a little bit behind, currently on 5. And on the other side, Rate. Well, not even Rate. Mr. Cap, he's on 2. They're up 8-7, and well, D13 now with a strong pistol round. I think they could potentially run away with this game.
One of those 2 kills was the entry they found towards the A site in their second last buy round, so that was a fairly important one. But other than that, he's not been doing very good on entries. He's 1 out of 4 at the moment. And the entire D13 team, they've won a grand total of 4 opening duels that half, which is pretty atrocious. But still ending up on 8 rounds at the end of it, and my god, Raid and Tamer shredding this one apart. As the ramp rush is stalled pretty quickly. Derek left to 1v4 this one out. The worst part about it is he doesn't even have armor. That utility not going to help him out a whole bunch when it comes to straight up aim duels.
I mean, he's got time, but with 4 players to find, I don't believe. I'm not really a believer here. I mean, getting the bomb down would be big. Position's now been given up. Rotation's coming through, especially behind him. There's going to be 1 player, a second to come after. Rate will close out with a quad kill. Well done here in the pistol round. And again, Rate's even another player we've given some slack to, or flack to, because of kind of underperforming. But underperforming for him would be going like, you know, a 1 kill death ratio. What we've seen that he can pull off, right? It's not really a bad thing for him underperforming. Just doesn't have the same impact that we've seen him be able to do.
We were only talking about Raid as well on the first map where he found 13 kills. He was the bottom fragger. And was hoping he could step it up, and yet here we go. You know, coming into this series, he's definitely done exactly that, or into this map rather. The Score gets a nice little triple outside, still falls in the end, but as long as they don't lose another player, won't be terribly upset about that. All the SMG kills going their way. Scout tag. Somewhat greedy of Annihilation to take that after tagging him. Again, I would prefer that he just tucked in, allowed his teammates to come behind and finish them off with the SMG. Especially when you invest into 3. I really do not think, like, if you're in a position where you have to fight, like let's say, for example, your 1M4 is on ramp, and they push ramp. Okay, well, he's obviously going to kill them. That's the kind of thing where you go, oh, right, well, there's nothing I can do. I got to survive this. But if you've got a chance like that where you choose to swing to take the kill rather than allow your SMG to build up the extra money, I think that's a really selfish play. And it's not just something we see at this level within Asian CS or anything like that. It's a thing that top 20 teams do. I've seen it so many times where like an SMG's coming around the corner and this guy's like, oh, well, I want an extra kill. That HLTV rating up. It's like, just chill out, bro. Let him have it.
Yeah, but rating.
Exactly, yeah. But I want to have the highest HLTV rating.
Well, I think you do here currently out of the 4 of us working the event.
Easy. With all my games probably I've played.
Oh. 2 on 2. A little bit of a bonus round for the CT side, and Annihilation still could clutch out. He gets the first kill. Don't tell me he gets the second. Pro missing the shots. Bombs down. It's time still left for Pro to play with, but this is not looking good. Annihilation not wanting to reload the M4, doesn't want to give away any length that he's going to be going for, and Pro's going to just drop straight down.
See, this is the thing. Pro might not know that Annihilation has heard that, but he does. He thinks maybe he has. He's waiting for this player to drop on down, but Annihilation just tucks up close.
Oh, no.
Up goes Pro. No idea the player's waiting for him up close, and easy peasy for Annihilation. As D13 take another round. That was very, very close indeed, but the bonus round pays off for D13.
Smart play by Annihilation. Again, not reloading the M4. Doesn't want to give away any sound cue. And the Deagle's going to be enough. He's up to 11. And Bren, where do they go from here? They have a couple of Tech 9s. They have some utility. I almost imagine this is going to be a crash down vent, but they're actually just going to back off for now. What did Derek go back for?
Not sure. Maybe a flash or something like that.
He went back like into spawn. Maybe there was a deagle there for him, and he didn't realize it.
Could have just been buying up extra utility. I didn't spot if he had it already. These are the rounds we're talking about from D13, man. We saw it on train. You're up against an eco. Oh, let's push Ivy. Oh, up against an eco here. Push main. Let's go. Now, they haven't given away much, but a man advantage goes towards the T side. It's a strong little thing to play with. The utility's starting to fade away. And so this can come up to the heads-up aim duels. And in that case, the man advantage can make a huge difference to this T side. Because they can just play the numbers.
The angle's just going towards ramp, though. Okay. Oh, it's going to get down. We're going to push ramp at the same time, and it's pretty much the pistols against the M4 of Rate. Hasn't been hit a single time, and that's going to be the round over. All right, so that man advantage didn't really matter. Though, Mr. Cap definitely has to be a little bit more careful. A lot more careful in the following rounds. The buyout comes back in for Bren. Wits goes straight to the op.
No, look, it's not like Mr. Cap's feeling it either, right? It's not like he's popping off. He's got 3 kills. He's like, I'm gonna rush them. Like, let's chill out a little bit, just a little bit. And I wonder if that's maybe something to do with the psyche of having 3 kills. Like, your team are winning.
Frustration play.
It just doesn't matter that you can have 0 kills here for all I care. Your team's winning. Who cares? Like, you're not losing them rounds per se, except for that one with a big mistake. You don't need to then go, oh, I have to get to 10 kills or I'm a noob. Like, no. Like I said, the thing I always go back to, back when I was an NIP fan a couple of years back, there was a point where you'd watch games where Exist would have like 4 kills, but they'd win it 16-5. It's like, who cares? All the forums and stuff would be like, oh, kick Exist, he's an idiot, he's a noob. It's like, no.
I mean, look at any game from Hunden.
Exactly. No, exactly, though. Like, breaching 10 kills is a good game for him sometimes, but it doesn't matter if they win 16-8. Who cares, you know? He can have 0 kills. 4 of them can have 0 kills at that point. It's something right.
Yeah, it's called having a cheater.
It's called spin botting. But yeah, no, if you get the point, though.
This could be a telling sign of how Bren want to go on this T side. Look how careful they're being around a lot of these angles. With the door blown up, they're scared there's going to be an op. Rail down directly there. You can see already they'll score. Maybe in towards garage. Really holding a far back angle. As the rest of Bren looking to gain control down towards lower, but Wraith playing towards the stairs takes him down. Score, catches Pro, trying to get in towards main. And already Bren going to be down 3 players. Annihilation gets the tag onto Derek, gets the finisher onto Derek, and even almost the kill onto his teammate. As Wits will get 1 and a second. He's lost too many players. 13-7. Now Bren, do they go for some pistols or do they force into this? I would imagine they're going to force into that.
Yeah, I think they force in. They can afford the 8K series.
That is a fast drone.
It is, isn't it? I mean, a lot of them are. They can go like 0 to 80 almost immediately. It's insane. Flashbang grenades used 9. The photographer is running in, telling people to smile. Well, he'll have a great game when they come up against Tyloo, the Dan King. He just looks like such a jolly guy. Like, you just feel like they could lose a game and he'll come out with a smile and go, good job, everyone. You know, you played well. We'll get them next time. Luckily, he never has to do that versus Vici.
Well, if Bren don't take a gun run here soon, I'm going to get very worried. I mean, obviously, 13 rounds against them. How many gun rounds left? They lose. He's just going for the quick peeks towards ours. He rotates away. Score now going to be playing from secret. And again, you see Bren being so cautious. Really being careful about any of the angles they take. But you already saw the way Wits was holding towards Squeaky Door before. Smoke's going through. And Score, well, he's just going to be waiting for his moment to shine. or die.
Yeah, we're going for the latter on that one. The score is not going to be smiling after that one. No one said cheese for him this round. As Bren get control of outside and move down through secret. Oh no, they're moving into garage. Potentially walking right into annihilation. Depends how much patience he's got left. Is a flash going to come through? I don't think anyone has one in a good position for flashing. Luckily he's pulled off the angle. He's missed the shot. He's not going to go back out. Surely he's not. He is! Doesn't get the tag the second time. Unlike annihilation. Gets down there. Great movement. As he's immediately in hell.
So, I don't know if he times it well. Annihilation. He gets up. He gets, I think, a dink in there. I don't know how you dink with a 5-7.
It looked like it, didn't it? There we go, 13-8. Bren keeping themselves alive. They're only 5 away. Like, this is definitely doable. If they win this round, D13 take an eco, then all of a sudden they're on double digits and 2 or 3 buy rounds away from at least an OT.
It's not going to be easy, though, to be honest.
No, it's possible. Not easy.
Okay. Like one of the first times we're going to see Op the Op in the series. And Witch is going to back away. I mean, he's been hurt too many times by Molotovs. I think I can let that first round we saw him on Inferno in the very first game. Ooh, little crossfire set up. What a shot! Annihilation again. Showing why he's so damn good. Witz will get one. He'll get the second now. Trying to make a name for himself. Turns it back into a 2-on-2. However, the bomb's still going to be down out of their hands. And Derek's just hoping someone's going to push in towards lobby. But as we can see, both players don't be going for that. They won't be going that route.
Oh no, another shot for Witz. The 3K already. And Mr. Cap, he's managed to make it up to 6 kills. Well, he's going to have to make it 8 if he wants to win this round. Pushing towards outside, but Witz is holding it with the AWP. Quick shot by Mr. Cap, though. Back over to the AK. An even fight versus Derek, but Derek has been a beast so far. This map, maybe not so much, but in this series, 100%. He's going to go and get that bomb, and with 20 seconds, he either has to go the A side or probably vents. Either way, he'll be running right on into Mr. Cap. Derek has no idea where his opponent is. Smoke through the swing. Mr. Cap doesn't see him. Now should realize he's going down secret with this little time. But he's just waiting in case it's a light A push. Now he knows. Now he hears the steps. He's going to come down vents. He's there quite quickly as well, trying to pressure him out. 1 second left. He has to be sticking it out. He goes! But Mr. Cap not ready for it to be behind the sight. And Derek happily spamming his body. 13-9. And an eco for D13.
And so close. I mean, these rounds are not really clean coming in for Bren. Like you said before, though, if they win this round, they're going to get their enemies onto just the Force or the pistol. I'm surprised Mr. Cap just decided to rush through. I mean, obviously stopping the plant would be big. But at the same time, I mean, it's 1-on-1. They knew that the last guy would be limited towards the site. And yeah, just pistol. Score's going to fall. Trying to get information towards outer. And this should be 10. Again, I'm saying should be because we've been burned too many times in the past, Mitch.
Hey, Jason, I think D13 are going to win this round. I'm going to call it now. I'm going to play it safe. With the
Yeah, but now
pistol.
that she just did that.
Oh, there we go. It's the mind games, isn't it? You know, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time we'd seen a round like this pulled off, but you can see Bren are being very cautious of it. They slowly move to outside, deal with the player garage, make sure they're double peeking a lot of these angles. And so realistically, we're looking at what will be a 13-10 scoreline. As we said, then it's only 2 or 3 buy rounds away from a guaranteed OT. Bren have got to be feeling a little bit more confident as time goes on. The dink from Rate doesn't get them anything.
See, I believe in it, you jinxed it.
But that was actually a really good round for Bren. All jokes aside, they survived with all five players. I think it might be the first clean anti-eco we've seen. And with that, they're now in a position where they can find themselves losing a round, but they won't be giving D13 a free 15th, which is really important at this point. It gives them a massive chance, or a much higher chance, rather, of winning it in regulation rather than having to play for an overtime.
Make or break time now. D13, the lead they had, looking to close this game out. Looking to, again, get themselves guaranteed through into the playoffs, where Bren is just trying to fight to be off the bottom two, and somehow Pro has gotten extremely deep in towards the site. Mr. Cap's going to be overrun, but the teammates are going to be there. Look at those kills coming through. Tamir and Score. Even Annihilation in a quick two-piece.
Well, Jason,
also 14.
I think you see what I'm talking about there when I say Bren having the money to buy up again is a good thing. They didn't win that previous round cleanly. If it came down like some of the many others have to like a 1v1, we'd be looking at a situation now where D13 are guaranteed 15. So at least they can fight for it now.
What's going on here? Such a wacky game sometimes. If anything, this has been more of the normalized Counter-Strike, as we were talking about in one of the breaks. But once again, can he come up big? He's on 20 kills. He's tied with Papa Chulo. Pro on 6, Mr. Cap on 7. I kind of talk about the highs and the lows, unfortunately. I think Pro and Mr. Cap can be a little bit angry with me. If they have any fans out there, they're going to be sending me some ugly messages. I feel like if you're Bren as well, like an aggressive play could catch him off guard, but at the same time, you saw last round, and you want to put your entire faith in just to a rush, which can, sometimes be a 50-50 at most, coming down to who can even hit the shots. I wonder where Wits is gonna play from though. Are they gonna use him to open up a site, or are they gonna use him to just confirm kills? I mean, Ramp's been left alone for the most part. Smoke's going out towards outer yet again. Whether or not they commit to it's a different question. Papa Chulo's going to be the one there. As it looks like maybe they will decide to head towards Ramp if Papa continues to push up. Or maybe it's just going to be a 5-man push. Oh, the cross is going to be seeing Rate. With some early shots, he's going to back away though. Again, trying to stay safe. Still time left to work with. 48 seconds left on the clock. They're going to go down. Tamir be the hero for his team as they round this corner. Molotov's being thrown in towards the back of side. He gets the first kill. Second done for Rate, but that's still going to be 3 kills quickly responded with out of Bren. They don't have themselves a 3-on-2.
Good man advantage in the post plant to play around. Score moves down. That's a dirty little angle by Josh. Surely not checked. Oh, Score's too quick though. He didn't expect the elevation. The flick was there. Annihilation catches Wits jumping out with no idea where he was. And Papi Chulo's got to do it all. 1 kill to Score. 1 more to go. Annihilation on the 8K. Not a chance with shots like that from Papi Chulo, saving the day with his 23rd kill on the board and an 11th round for Bren. Well, the slow round certainly seemed to work a little bit better for them, Jason, than what we saw before. Just the straight-up rushes.
Yeah. It was still close, though. Let's be fair to D13. That came down to the 1-on-1. It was after that second kill that comes in for Rate on the Pro. The Papa Chulo, Wits, and Jaw all get a kill apiece. Phenomenal little read, and I'm not sure what Wits is going for necessarily. They're trying to reposition it, maybe expecting both players to come down event. But speaking about rushing, they've gone in towards the upper bomb site, and Mr. Cap needs... What? Alright, well, Wits gets lucky.
Well, it's only 1 kill, right? With it's only 2 kills. It's only 2 kills, Jay. It's only 3 kills. It's only 3 kills, Jason. It's fine. I mean, still the arm of the it's only 4 kills because you know well, it's only a defuse. It's only 15-11. At the end of the day, that was a horrible round. My God, Rates just absolutely shredded them. And it's what we talked about before, Jason. When they survive with all 5 players, okay, yeah, you're looking good. But now, even with a bomb plant, they're not going to be able to pull out their AKs. That's a disgraceful round to lose for Bren. And it wasn't even to do with the pace. They didn't do something reckless like rushing out. They just lost every single duel to players that came in with that armor, that came in with just deagles, and it just destroyed them. Of all the ones to fall in, this just was not the one. Look at this. The deagle's absolutely everywhere for Raid. He got a 3k on that deag.
You know, sometimes those rounds happen. We praise them, you know, about their slow play working out a lot better than their fast play. I mean, even with the round, how the round started, right? Witz rounds the corner and sees Mr. Cap, and he had a Molotov out. Well, I knew that was a precursor to how the round would go. A little bit of foreshadowing. And now with Bren on the force buy, throwing everything into this last round, potentially form. They rush straight in towards the upper bomb site. Mr. Cap's only going to be good for 1, but Tamir's still going to be here. And advantage still going to be held on to, though, for Bren. Molotov will come through. Wit's down to 4 HP. They're trying to set up some smokes, trying to set up some flashes. Nice little smoke to allow Rate to get through. Flashbang comes in, and he...
Oh, Rate, what are you doing? He just dove down to his death, head first into a meat grinder. Died to gravity. That's one way to go. They don't expect the second player, at least Papi Chulo didn't, but that's because he had support from further back, and it should be Bren's round, really. And D13 realized that and just going for the save. What the hell was that from Raid? It's like, watch this, guys. Just jumps down. Well, that's embarrassing.
Terrorists win.
I got nothing to say.
I don't blame you, Jason. I don't blame you at all. That was a very wild round. Luckily, it's not a high stakes one, right? For D13, they're still going to be able to come into this one with a full buy, with a double op setup. Rate hopefully not going to be taking any high dives anytime soon. So he completely missed the swimming pool. And a fast play towards ramp. Here's Rate with the AWP, but he can't make it around the corner. Headbutts the wall on the way. And that is going to be at least a trade back for Bren. As they move towards the B site, they'll find it open for now. Score is on his way around. This Mac-10 jumping through. Surely doesn't stand a chance. Spray control not able to follow up, but a man advantage nonetheless.
Bomb going down. Mir just pushes straight through the door. Mitch almost loses his mind. 3 on 2.
Doing? I mean, again, it works, but it just shouldn't. It just shouldn't. He ran through a smoke with a FAMAS, not even shift walking. Mr. Cap dropped, but they know exactly where Papi Chulo is. Another 1v1 for him. It's up against Annihilation with a Mac-10. He's looking for the headshot, and he finds it. Papi Chulo single-handedly holding on for Bren at this point. It feels like it's him against the world. 27 kills on the board. But what the hell was that? I mean, look, Tamer got 1 kill for it, but his strategy was legitimately, I'm going to get a FAMAS, run through the smoke onto the site. We'll see how that goes. Look at this 1v3. Absolutely gorgeous.
I'm at a loss. I thought that was it. I was about to write in my notebook 16 to 12. Papi Chulo's not done. 27 kills. We talked about him as being a pretty consistent player, pretty big standout player. Derek's been doing it the entire series, and Papi's going to pick up where his teammate left off. Now again, this should be a 14th round. for Bren. Then we go into the final buy round. I mean, I think there's a legitimate chance we're going to see overtime.
Oh, there really, really is. From where we started, it wasn't looking all too likely. Poppy took a while to get that kill. He's on 40 health now. Giving up outside control. They'll look for ramp, move to B, and just take that bomb plant yet again. It's been a favorite. It's been the speciality of this side so far. As Tamer pushes up on ramp. He's made way too much noise. They were so ready for that. His timing was poor as well. Yeah, I don't see a whole lot happening for D13 in this round, but it is very much all down to the next. Bren could be taking this to OT. Pappy takes another headshot, but still survives. He's a tank.
Bomb has been planted.
In before Score 1v5 clutches. How's their wind on the lower bomb
Down
side?
here. Yeah, I know, right? There really shouldn't be a lot of airflow down here.
Guess it's the vents. Good old ventilation system. I mean, it's a nuclear reactor, right? They got to keep it cool. That's how you, you keep the rods.
I don't think you blow wind through it. I think that would probably cause more problems.
Probably.
It's on the way out. It's a load of nuclear waste in the air. I think it's liquid cooled, right? It's water. That's why you get heavy water.
Now going to the last round of normal time. Utility is massively lacking for D13 though. They have one incendiary. A rush came through now out of Bren. That should be overtime. Instead they're going to head towards outside, go for that early control. They're not up against an AWP. A lot of their smoke's being used. Get across. Leaving Derek and Pro with the only two remaining. Now the Molotov, okay. That was their own. It's Poppy for a little bit of HP, but Tamir, he's on stairs. Smoke's going to come in, trying to stop their push in towards the lower bomb site, and he's actually going to push up aggressively here. He's going to go for the information play, and he gets caught out.
Look at the reinforcements. They don't have any really to get here quickly enough. Scores on the way down the vents, but he's mollied out. Has to stay above that and wait. They've got players on ramp at least at this stage. Walking out, Rate's able to get one, but only one. Score and Annihilation, two big players still left in this game. And oh, nice shot by Annihilation. The bomb planter in danger here with the spray from Score connecting. It's down to a 1 versus 2. The trade back by Derek. He's also been nuts himself, and Wits stepping it up in these last couple rounds. Caught with a smoke out. Oh, Score. He had utility in his hand for 10 seconds. I mean, that's not a round you can really win if you're doing that. And so we do go to overtime. Train's going all the way.
31 kills for Papachulo. I mean, it's kind of like a pretty similar account for both teams. You have Pro on 7, Papachulo on 31. On the other side, you have Mr. Cap on 9. You have Score at 26. Again, credit to Wits, catching a lot of flack from us, but look at him. I mean, 87 ADR, second for his team. He's definitely stepped up when they needed it, and again, a victory for Bren. I mean, it doesn't guarantee themselves out of the bottom 2, but it puts them in a good position to stay out, being knocked out in the group stage. Derek. Yeah, a little bit of choke.
Oh, Jason. Here we are in OT, looking at the T side for Bren yet again. No AWP making an appearance. They're not big fans of it. I don't blame them with how they've been playing. It's often been centered down to the B-bomb site. You just don't need an op for that. And with it being 10k OT, that investment is quite hard punished. If it was 16k, they'd probably take it out for the sake of it, but here, it's a risk they just don't need to take. Poppy loves running through that Molotov. He lost 12 health last round, 25 this time, 24.
Don't worry. No, math with you hasn't been too strong.
I thought it said 75 though. Yeah, I mean, Bren have got control. All right, they've left the player lurking outside to make sure their back is secure. That's Derek up on top of Silo, I think. The flash doesn't connect to Annihilation. They're also late pushing on it. That's an easy kill. He's going up for more. Hits that one too. I didn't even see him hit that, honestly. I just had faith. He's just so damn good. He hurt my eyes with how quick he was. Oh man, this is falling apart for Bren in this round, that's for sure.
Yep. Of times, D13 didn't see a round like this out of them. Quite a few. At least they're able to step up when it comes to overtime, and I don't want to imagine Bren losing 3 rounds on T side after, oh, honestly, an amazing performance out of them. There's the first. What I don't get is why he flicks after the shot with the mouse. You know what I mean? He hits the shot and then he flicks it like even further away.
I don't know. I won't attempt to understand. I've never been anywhere near as good as Annihilation at nothing, so I can hold an angle and I click when they come around. That's all I can do.
I feel like me sometimes. Yeah, exactly. Again, bomb down. He's being flanked in from behind. Score. He had to cover him off. He was playing very safe angle. Mr. Cap, though, gets one. And another round that's going to be going the way of D13. Wit's left alone. He gets the initial shots on his Score's position's been given up. Doesn't even have the bomb either, and that should be indeed 17 for the Mongolians. Where was this D13? It's like overtime comes around, they're like, all right, let's end this.
Yeah, I don't know, Jason. It's one of those things, right? OT brings a different pace to the game. You realize you got to focus up, you got to win this. We see it a lot, where games go like 15-15, all the rounds really tight, and then once it gets to OT, it's like 19-16 immediately. The one thing that Bren can be very thankful for is the fact that they're coming in here, even without, they haven't got a bomb plant, right, in either of those 2 rounds, and yet they're in a position where they can still buy coming into this. When they're on the CT side, that's not possible. That's why I don't like 10k OT. I feel like it punishes the CT side way too much. Because you're obviously, if you buy even just all rifles twice, you get some pistols even coming into the 3rd round if you lose both. That's a little bit unfair. Well, it's not the point of OT, right? Annihilation is 22 health. He's in a lot of danger with that up. This could be definitely around the Bren win. The early fights have gone their way. They haven't got the map control. Tamer on his way up. He's got the flick, and eventually. Okay. The man advantage, but it's traded back very, very quickly. Mr. Cap maintaining it, but then Annihilation falls. That's both players that were low HP dealt with. Now they've got to do it up against the full health guys. They just can't manage it. Not even a single kill from that point. 18-15. 1 round for D13 on their T side, and they win this. And as long as they don't just go in for a rush towards Squeaky Door, they should be fine.
Did they get like only 3 or 4 kills in the entirety of their first half of overtime for Bren?
I'm not sure.
Really rough rounds, and like we're saying, going flawless now on the CT side. D13 just need that 1 round, and we saw they can be very aggressive towards the upper bomb side. They've had success when running it before. Not sure what's going to happen when we have a lot of early utility for the CTs to use. Nate even coming through. Cindere's galore out of both teams. Look how what? Score again? He's done that before. And did he run through a Molotov here?
Tamer just ran through, I think, his own Molotov to go down to 4 health. We'll find out if he dies with the assist coming through. I mean, that's got to be, you're dead, mate. So low. There you go. That was pros molly. Okay. A little better at least. Rate falls. I mean, it's 2v4. They shouldn't be around the D13 win. Bren should be able to bring it up now to 18-16 and try to get this flawless half for another overtime. Annihilation's got a 1v4 to win out, and Wits just gets it on the AWP from afar. 16 for Bren. We go a little bit further.
Yeah, Wits has been solid. We gotta just give him credit here. 29 kills. 3K in that last round. D13 back on the bye, obviously. Yeah, that's not the first time we've seen Score actually push through like that. He goes for the quick rush. over towards main, and I mean, clearly wasn't expected. CT, you know, running in behind, saying, wait, don't go in there. Let's see, Ace not gonna be too much. Now he's going for the early shot, and he gets it. Pro gonna be out of the round. Early man advantage for Wits. He's pushed up aggressively. He's feeling confident. Jaw, he's gonna be good for one. Wits gets one as well. Quickly traded out on, however. Spot off the bomb, and it's down to the 3-on-3 until they catch Derek pushing in Hut. Papachulo's still, actually, that was over towards Squeaky Door. Papachulo's gonna be now inside of Hut though. And Tamir has the upper bomb site. Oh, Poppy, if they don't expect him here, or if Tamir doesn't clear this angle, this could be huge.
They realize he must be around this area. You can see Raid is just holding inside. There's the barrel spotted, and an easy little tap. There's a good position, but maybe they've got to read that Papichulo plays towards that site. Molotov down here. Wits has to push, and that's the end. 19-16. D13 take it in overtime on the third map. So definitely a much more difficult series than you maybe would have expected. But in the end, they do come out on top.
So this puts now D13 on 3-3. And Bren on 1-5. So we have 3 teams currently sitting at 1-5. Mazlai, Lucid Dream, and Bren all fighting to keep their hopes alive, get out of the bottom 2, and get through into the playoffs. But with that map wrapping up, we get to bring in our lovely co-casters. We have Bleh, we got Dinko. To talk about the last game on Nuke, and with how it started out, it looked like Bren were going to come out swinging. Bleh. They had, what was it, like a first round loss, and they won the next 4 straight, of 4-1, and then it started to slip away from them.
Yeah, it looked like they were in firm control, but then D13, like you said,